100% forgot to unmute again. 2 for 2 today, baby. Let's go. Oh, all right. Let's get going on YouTube as well now. Let me turn this down just a little bit. Give me outing, Welcome in, welcome in. Boop. Ah, fuck. Oh, oops. Well, the jig is up. We've been live this entire time. Well, well, this is awkward. Okay. Give me outing, guys, ladies, and now YouTube catters. I hope you're having a fantastic Monday afternoon, Monday evening, Monday night. I don't think it's Tuesday morning anywhere else. No Tuesday meowing. Welcome to the stream. It is Monday, December 1st. We're officially in the Christmas time. We're officially in the Potteroo time. It is official Potteroo hours here. But hope you're having a fantastic Monday, fantastic start to the week. We've been live for about an hour and a half earlier over on Twitch. Just playing some games, casual, listening to music, laddering a little bit on Master Duel. If you'd like to catch those games out, you can catch it over at the Twitch channel if you want to go back and watch the VOD. As always, just been playing White Forest. We've updated the list a little bit from my video. Just to, like, basically, I don't know. Master Duel is a weird thing. Master Duel is a weird beast. You turn you down just a little bit more. In like a TCG, I would 100% not be playing, like, I don't think I would be playing imperms. I think I would just play triple like goat and stuff like that for hard go second. We'd be playing Thrust in the list. Obviously, we wouldn't be maining Droll and Lockbird or Maxis. Those are not legal. But like Master Duel is one of those that if you interact with your opponent at all, like they're not going to play you out to turn 3 or sometimes even turn 2. If you go fucking imperm into a fucking Fualos or go Fualos into an imperm or Maxi, activate Maxi, they're just passing and going to the next game. So we put imperms in over the Black Goat Laughs just so we don't have to play Yu-Gi-Oh pretty much. It's felt okay so far. It's been fine so far. Every now and then we'll hit the one Foolish Burial Goods and dump the Black Goat Laughs like we had last game, which is just an extra form of interruption. Or we will open the Black Goat Laughs going second. We like put another White Force player into the absolute dirt with Black Goat Laughs. So it's really good if we're going second, specifically into established boards. But other than that, we did play some locals today, or not locals today. We did play locals Saturday. That's why I didn't stream Saturday, but I was supposed to stream yesterday to talk about everything. And today we're also going to be talking about the new Rosalie's White Force list that I believe she got. It was either top 48 or top 32. I can't remember. I have to look. I saw the list. I haven't watched their videos or anything yet. I wanted to go back and watch their match, or I wanted to look at their list, watch the match, and then watch their discussion video because I want to get their like thoughts about like the list because it's interesting. I dropped my water. There we go. It's definitely a very interesting list. I got to try it out at locals Saturday, and I play tested a little bit of it before tournament to see how I liked it, or played the exact version they played. I think it's a good meta call. I don't think it's like good for locals, but like it's good if you're going to play like a YCS or going to play regionals and you're just expecting people to play the top decks. But we did, for the actual tournament, I changed like 2 or 3 cards and played 41 instead of a clean 40. And we went 3-1, my only loss being a Malice player in the final round who opened Dimension Shifter game 1. By the way, lost every single die roll. I'm so good at Yu-Gi-Oh that I just lose every single die roll. I don't need to win the die roll. I purposely lose my die rolls. But went 3-1, lost to the final round, lost to a Malice player. Who opened Dimension Shifter game 1 and game 2, and I was just like, well, we can't really do anything about that when they opened the 1 and 40 2 games, so check him deck. But so we'll check out the list today. I'll talk about like my thoughts and feelings on it and stuff, coming from a local idiot, a White Forest idiot, a non YCS topping White Forest idiot. But yeah, I still think White Forest is still in a good place, or like as long as you don't get trolled. As long as you don't get trolled. I would be playing. That was the thing, is I hadn't been back to this locals in a while, and they're like, hey, you come play Genesis tomorrow, and I'm like, I have a Genesis deck built, but like Droll is 5 points. Everyone is playing 3 Droll, 3 Nib or whatever in their main deck, and I'm just like it sounds like an abysmal format to just like ask your opponent if they have a Droll in their opening hand, because like with the way White Force is pointed, if they have Droll in their opening hand, then there's like we just don't play. There's nothing we do. We put a toy box down and we pass and hope for the best. So we'll check that out in a little bit when people are awake and are bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. For now we have 1600 gems. Should we just buy the Labyrinth slop? The Labyrinth collection? Cards included in the collector's file. We're just missing the Trapaholic. We're only missing the Trapaholic, and we're only missing the Alt Art Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle, and we actually get to finish the book. Surely they give us the Alt Art Lady Labyrinth, right? They would not give us the Alt Art Lady Labyrinth, right? Surely it'll only take, wait, does this actually give me packs? Okay, it actually does give me packs, but 3,000 gives me a guaranteed UR. God, I want both of these things. Why is it 4,600 gems? What the fuck? Why is it 4,600 gems? The field looks so cool too. And you get cute wallpapers. And 20 packs. We'll rip the 1,600 at least. We'll at least rip the 1,600 for the collection. That's the alt art right there. That's the alt art right there. I'm gonna laugh so hard if we get the alt art, because what I was watching my Oshi, my Kami Oshi. Shoutouts to Nova Awakami. Just lose their mind trying to open the alt art. Dropped like more than $100 trying to pull for the alt art. Meanwhile, we get the alt art Diabellstar Black Witch in our first pack. Oh, Ice Jade Cradle. It's so brutal that they put this in a pack where the left side is just absolutely dead. The left side is nothing. Oh, a wiggle. What did I say? What did I say, chat? Oh my god. Yo, shoutouts Nova Alkami. Shoutouts to my Kami Oshi. I am just built different. I'm sorry. Free 99, baby. 4th pack, just buying the 16 gem bundle. Let's go. I am the Labyrinth main now. I am the Labyrinth cat now. Holy dog. God, I love this art. She's so fucking adorable. She's so cute. It's such a good art. We still need a second one. I would still like a second one, but I wouldn't be upset not getting a second one. I wouldn't be upset not getting a second one. Oh, man. Did I call it, chat? I fucking called it. I felt it. I knew it. That wasn't even the guaranteed UR pack either. Here's the guaranteed UR pack. Come on. Give it to me. Give me a second one. Oh, it's outside the pack. Sag. Oh. Oh. Ooh, a Brionac, though. That's not bad. Is this the Brionac that is Edison legal? Or is that another Brionac? That's crazy, dog. That's wild. Long long. Foil long long. It's our second long long. Bop, 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 bop. All right, still 2 more packs to go. We could still pull. Oh, it's coming out. Happy Pride. Oh, so we could still pull a second Lady Lab, second alt art for our deck. Wiggle, wiggle. Ariana Destiny board. No, sad. Okay. All right, come on. It all comes down to this. Second Lady Lab. We're gonna have to buy the bundle when I get some money. We're gonna have to buy the 3K bundle for the field spell. Vehicroid Connection Zone, Labyrinth Archfiend, Sentence of Doom, and Dark Spirit of Banishment. Okay. I mean, I call that a W. I call that a fat W, chat. We get a foil version too. That's crazy. Doesn't look that good as a foil though. We'd rather. I need the royal rare. I need the royal rare. The foil's kind of like washed on it. Still pretty art though. Still very pretty art. To the collector's file. $17 of 18. So all we need is the one of Trapaholic that I can actually just craft if I wanted to. Is this in the like pack as well? No, it's just only in the end of guild stuff. Okay. Well, we might still be able to pull it, but I don't think I need anything else in the end of guild. No one's playing the Trapaholic either, but that's wild, dog. That's crazy. Well, now we have a foil Lady Lab to go with my foil Lovely Lab. They're matching. The girls are matching. Hell yeah. I'm gonna need that clip to send to Nova too. All right, Lady Lab. All right, we're just gonna need one more of them. We're just gonna need one more of the alt arts. All right. I guess we could play a couple of games before we break down the deck list. I'll pull up the Rosalie deck list here in a second. Or the Rosalie. We'll watch the match. Oh yeah, we'll pull up the deck list. We'll watch the match, and then we'll watch their breakdown of their deck, I guess. Like their reasoning. They talk about their card choices. Speaking of Labyrinth, ooh, Maxi. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. This is a little awkward. We have to wait for them to activate their traps first. Set trap trick. Okay, that sucks for us. That's not great. That could be anything. Yep. Trap track. Yep. Well, at least they're doing it now, I guess. Big welcome lab. Hello, Red Knight. Give me a What's going on? All right. I'm gonna max C here. They do get to chain their Arias here. Oh, they're not gonna chain their Arias here. Okay. What's going on, Red Knight? How are you? Welcome in, welcome in. We get one draw here. Lovely lab, okay. Another LZ, all right, Pog. Sure, hit one of the LZs, please. Okay, thank God. Try and reset big welcome. No, we're gonna imperm that and make them use the furniture. Oh, they had a trap. Okay. Had 2 traps. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, that's not good for us. Let's go witch. Damn, I was hoping they would do something there. New to Yu-Gi-Oh, so found me randomly. Oh, welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh. Holy shit. What got you into playing Yu-Gi-Oh? What deck do you like? All right, we're gonna bait here. We're gonna do a little baiting. Do a little baiting, chat. Something. Yo, Chungus, what's going on? Fingers crossed for LZ ban in the future. No. Why is my chat my biggest hater? Why is my chat my biggest haters? What the fuck? You're supposed to support me. We'll get tails here. All right, well that's scary. Come on, hit the field spell. Hit the field spell. I would like. Okay, they went. All right, well that's the best hit they could have had. All right, well we're getting very scary here. All right, change the top of the deck. Okay, well, and the jig is up. Send the tails. We activated this turn. Well, we can ash that. We can't ash the other thing. You're supporting you by helping you move to another healthier archetype. Yeah, it's gonna be Killer Tune. Blue Eyes seems fun. Blue Eyes is a lot of fun. Blue Eyes is super sick. Problem is I don't have a good amount of removal because of we have to grab LZ Azamina here. Set the tails. The last thing they have is a furniture in hand. So we just have to beat this lovely or whatever the last trap is. We're gonna do this first. And Diabelle's the White Witch. It's unfortunate since we had to start field spell here to bait his interaction. We don't have access to my Azamina stuff. But as long as he doesn't get rid of this field spell, we're fine. Now, he's got to do something here. He's got to do something here. Okay. All right, well, now it just depends on the last trap. What deck am I using? I've never seen it. This deck is called the White Forest. It just recently got updated in Master Duel. If you give me 1 second, I'm gonna talk about it a lot. I just breaking boards is super hard. I've got to think about it. I think super hard about stuffs. What is his last card? now he can no longer pop things. Go Philia. Gonna pop this, I guess. Force this out. It was MathMech Super Factorial. Holy shit. So we just win now? Make Silvera book their shit. Kill them. Okay, well, we did it. Let's go! Pug, 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 pug. Now, I know what you're thinking, Neko. You're 1,000 short, but that's when we go Sylvie, target Silvera, summon Sylvie, attack for 15. Pug, 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 pug. All right, yo, what's going on? All right, sorry, I'll catch up on the chat. All right, Red Knight. This deck is called the White Forest, or White Forest Azamina. It came out in the TCG about a year ago, and then got like, it's a lore deck that got updated across the year, last year into this year. It is a synchro deck based off of like these little level 2 witch girls, Elsa of the White Forest, Stellar of the White Forest, and then your level 4s being Sylvia of the White Forest, your level 4 tuners. And it just does everything in the world. It's a combo deck. So it's just all about climbing your synchros into your level 8, your Diabell, and then ending on a bunch of different interactions with like negates, omni negates, things like that. But more so than anything, it is a very cute archetype with very good art, the best art. But yeah, if you like Blue Eyes, Blue Eyes is a very fun and like good deck to get into modern play right now. And then next, or this coming spring, so I think it's like actually in March, we get brand new Dark Magician support if you like Dark Magician. Dark Magician actually gets some updated cards in the year 2026. Also, TCG only, if you play the TCG at all, the actual physical card game. Bone. I assume, do you like the anime? Do you like Duel Monsters at all, or like the original anime? And if you remember the character Bones, the guy that played the Pumpkin King of Ghosts in the Graveyard Duel, they're actually updating his cards and making an entire deck about it. If you like anime decks. Yeah. This is my favorite deck. I've loved this deck since it came out last year. Well, 2 years ago actually, has it been? You do like Dark Magician? Hell yeah. Yeah, Dark Magician gets some really cool cards coming up very soon. I was gonna say, if you're trying to get into the TCG as well, if you're a fan of 5Ds, the anime 5Ds, can you explain the theory behind Foolish Burial Goods? Absolutely. Well, 1 second. Oh god, I gotta sneeze. Hold on. Now you don't have physicals. Too broke. Yeah, no. That's the one thing, like, I've been like branching out into other card games recently while still playing Yu-Gi-Oh TCG and stuff. Just recently got into Pokemon, TCG, and I have to appreciate like being able to build a Pokemon deck for 30 bucks is crazy, wild. Like all of their like staples or commons, or all their staples are reprinted as like commons and uncommons for like 50 cents. All right, Foolish Barrel Goods. Why Foolish Barrel Goods is in this deck? Because it is a 1-card starter, and it also gets you access to either Black Goat Laughs if you need another form of interaction, if you already have access to your Diabell's Diabell Star line. But as a starter, it is you go Foolish Barrel Goods, you dump Cursed Diabell. Cursed Diabell adds you your Filia Diabell. Filia Diabell adds you your Diabell's the White Witch. Then you go Diabell's the White Witch, dump your Vengeance, and now you have the 2 best cards in the deck on your field. I'm glad the new cards are out since Master Duel has been determined to kill my Malice deck. I'm sad what they did to Malice, but it is the Master Duel way of like, all right, we need y'all to fork up your money for new cards coming out. But crazy enough, Malice still playable. They did not hit White Binder, which is all that matters. Malice still very much playable. You just replace Red Ransom with Transcode Talker, and you still go full combo. Thank you, I appreciate the subscription. If you want to check out more White Force stuff, like I talk about this and in the TCG version of this deck as well as show off like combo lines, and we're gonna be doing some locals videos here and very soon, as soon as I can set up with the store to do that. But we have regionals coming up, so we'll see when it all falls through, how it all falls through. What else? Foolish also lets you dump cards like Hallowed Azamina if they like interrupt your deception. Like if they ash your deception, you can dump Hallowed Azamina, and if you already have an LZ, if you already have LZ in hand or used your LZ, you just dump Hallowed Azamina, shuffle, add it back with Azamina LZ, and then get to go into your full combo as well. Isn't White Forest Lab better than pure White Forest? I've never seen White Forest Lab in my life. I'm gonna personally say no. I think pure White Forest, the only way you would go off of pure White Forest is if you were just playing like 60 cards combo slop. But I think playing as close to 40 as possible for consistency is the best you can do. If we're talking TCG, 40 consistent, try and get as close to 40 consistency as possible. If we're talking Master Duel, play whatever the fuck you want. Master Duel is a godless wasteland of combos. You can throw Toy Box Engine in here, you can throw Fiendsmith Engine in here, you can throw Millennium Engine in here. You still lose to Droll. You still can very much so lose to Droll, but yeah, Master Duel, just you go nutty with it. You have a 40 card White Forest lab list. I mean, it's certainly interesting. I don't like what do you do against Liger? Go next. If you're facing a lot of Lunalight, I have not seen any Lunalight in the ladder in the past 2 months since the deck has come out. But if I start seeing Lunalight, you can cut the Solaire Stygian for Azamina, or you can cut it for Psychic End Punisher and just beat over it. But easy, or cut the Guardian Chimera as well if you want 2 answers to Luna Liger. Do you have any good deck suggestions to new players? Absolutely. Master Duel, a good learning deck. No regular Azamina for Liger. You could absolutely do that. The only reason why it's not in my extra deck right now is because I've not seen any Luna Light players in 2 months. No one is playing Luna Light. The minute I start seeing Luna Light players consistently, then I will put it in the deck. For beginner players against Liger, if you have low HP, you can crash Saint on Liger and they take the damage. Absolutely. Yeah, you crash Saint on Liger, or you can just go pay half your life. You can still target the Liger. It's unaffected from the pop, but the pay the life from Diabell Star Vengeance is cost. And then you just make Psychic and Punisher and attack over it and OTK them with Psychic and Punisher. But if you're just learning out and want to figure out like a deck that can play modern and is pretty straightforward as far as the combos, the Blue Eyes starter deck is very... Is this the correct one? This is not the correct one. All right, don't buy this one. This one's ass. Don't buy that one. There is a Blue Eyes deck you can craft that is very playable and very low to the ground, like very simple to learn. Or if you don't have stuff to craft anything, buying this Crimson Power Force deck is a good place to start out. This is probably the strongest structure deck on here, and easiest to learn. You're just synchroing and making like a giant 3200 dragon, and it's very consistent and you're just killing people. Very easy to learn as well. And this will easily take you to Diamond. People have taken this to Masters, or taken like builds of this to Masters. It's got pretty much everything you need to get started with, just buying like 3 of these. If you want to craft your own deck, then honestly the Blue Eyes... Oh god. If you want to craft your own deck, then Blue Eyes is a great deck to start out with. I personally learned how to play the because I'm decently new to Yu-Gi-Oh in comparison to a lot of people. I started playing when Master Duel came out during COVID, but I started learning with this deck. I started learning with Life Twins because how I learned was how to craft. You'll go in here, I'll show you in a second. How I learned how to play the game was like how other decks worked, and learned how to hand trap them. Because like learning how to hand trap, I feel like, especially if you come from other card games, is your best learning tool to like get good quickly at Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh yeah, there's a free branded deck. Yeah, if you use the code. Is that still a thing? Yeah, there's also a free branded deck. Rookie and Returner. Yeah, here we go. Here, use this code. Use this code on the screen. Get a free branded deck. And this is also a great way to get started as well with the game. Do you think you can master climb with every deck like Dark Magician you build, or do you think you need at least a road deck? If you devote enough time, you can climb with like any deck. As long as it's well built, obviously. Like if you're just running like, if you're trying to run like an Edison deck, or like a whatchamacallit, like a Masochist run deck, then you're not gonna get, I don't think you'll ever make it a Diamond, but, or Master, I mean. But if you're playing like a well-built deck, like you have your staples, you have your Ash Blossoms, you have your Maxis, you have your Molcharmies, stuff like that crafted, I think you can play like tier 4 slop and still get to master. Dark Magician, yeah, Dark Magician Primite can climb, Dark Magician can climb, if you back it up with the right hand traps. It's just gonna take you a while. Yeah, I still see some Yubel players every now and then. All right, someone asked a question earlier. You asked how to craft. Yeah. Crafting, you just go to deck and you click this little plus symbol here, create new, and then your list is going to be a lot more emptier than this, but you can just start by like typing stuff that you want to craft. Like say we're building Blue Eyes. Well, obviously we're gonna need like the cards that are associated with blue eyes. So you would just like click, we need wishes for eyes of blue. Like you can find deck lists online of how to build it, and then you just go over here and hit generate to craft it. Now you need dust up here to craft cards, but you get that from like doing your beginner quests, like your tutorials and things like that as well. And someone also asked, how have I been enjoying the new Azamina fusion? I don't use it. I need to start using Azamina. I'm not a huge Azamina like the pure Azamina final boss enjoyer. I need to get used to that card. It has its purposes, it has its services, but it's only good in a very specific meta. Well, this hand's just great. Oh, in my standby phase. That's annoying. All right, well, we opened like everything we could possibly want. Is the funny thing. The new fusion, yeah, new fusion's a lot better if you're playing pure Azamina. Like there have been some like Azamina control and trap builds that are pretty sweet. All right, we're just not gonna get the mini draws off of this, actually. I could set the trap here. We're not gonna get the mini draws. And we could just make we make El Sylvia on their turn. Okay. Nice full opponent. They had two. That's annoying. All right. We'll just do this now, I guess. We'll get one draw off the Diabellstar Vengeance, which is a little annoying. We'll get a wanted for next turn. All right. 7th Tachyon. So they are Ryzeal. That's annoying. Yeah, I guess we do this because they'll get the sword or get the Ext. Okay. Thrust for bonfire here, I guess. Okay. We take those. Let's go.
Hey, thanks.
Yo, thank you for the subscription. I can't see the name, unfortunately. I don't know what the hell that is. I don't know what happened. I appreciate it. What were I know they had to be in Ryzeal, but why didn't they not thrust for bonfire? On them at Ryzeal. I don't know why they didn't thrust for bonfire. Add sword. Normal sword. Weird. I love the 3 Harpies Featherstorm though. Shoutouts. Shoutouts to degeneracy. Just hard go first, skip your opponent's turn. We love that. Okay. Alright. Let's watch the Rosalie match. I want to watch the Rosalie White Force match and talk about their new deck list that they got. That she got top 48, top 32. Ice and X are the Pyros. Yeah. I mean, they just didn't resolve thrust. They skipped after resolving thrust, but it's crazy. All right, you bought the Crimson deck and put the campaign code in. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, I see it now. I've never actually used this before, so let me do that. Sweet. So now you should have a copy of the deck. Branded on its own is a very good learning deck as well. It is a very low floor, high ceiling. Like, you will grow as a player with just learning Branded. There you go. And there are a ton of guides to learn how to play Branded as well. But both of those decks will definitely let you be able to compete and like learn those lines. Or like learn and grow as a player. And then from there, you just need to, let me see, I think it actually, does it show me what it is in? Okay, oh, list of structure decks, here we go. So like from here, you would just craft your hand traps that you need. So you would just craft Ash Blossoms, Maxis, Volcharmi Fuwalos, and you're pretty much set. And and those are just to stop your opponent from playing the game. Okay. All right, let me close future support too. Yeah, that's also true. Brandon is going to get future support as well. What am I doing here this early? I don't know, Blizz. I don't know. My sleep schedule's screwed up. So we're here. We're streaming. Bah! There we go. All right. I don't want to let a good meowing go to waste. All right, let's stop this music. How are you today, Blizz? Give me meowing. Okay. I wanted to watch. You've been sick since last Wednesday? No, I hope you get better, dude. Holy shit. Well, from the weather changing or anything? Hope it's not the. I know it's flu season and all that. Best way to play White Forest. we are going to watch. Yeah, YCS Bologna. YCS Bologna. Round 10, part 1. Oh god, it's multiple parts. Chronic bronchitis. Holy shit, dude. I'm so sorry. God damn. Yeah, I really hope you get better. That sucks. All right, chatters. We're gonna learn something today. We're gonna learn. This is going to be an educational stream. We're gonna learn together. Boop. There we go. We're gonna learn together. Yeah, it worked. Nice. We did it right the first time. We're gonna watch YCS Bologna. This was 8 days ago. This is a week ago. Round. Why is everyone surprised that I'm awake? What the fuck? I don't sleep that much. I could be awake at normal hours. It's getting late in India. Holy shit. Well, have a good rest. Hello from India, or good night from India. Appreciate you hanging out. Hope to see you in a future stream. Thank you again. We'll make a Yu-Gi-Oh duelist out of you yet. Do you have a night shift basically every week? I do. I am a vampire. It's really bad in the winter too, because it gets dark at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And so sometimes I just never see the sun. Sometimes I just sleep late and never see the sun from getting off work. All right. So we're going to watch YCS Bologna. This was 8 days ago. There's a Gabriel S versus Rosalie on White Forest, a fairly new build to White Forest, or a build of White Forest that took people by surprise, which we later found out. I guess we should look at the list first, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe that makes more sense. Hold on. Maybe that makes more sense. I don't know how to do this. Do you actually have a permanent night shift? Because I had it for 2 years. Do you get extra percent power per hour in America? I do work overnights, and yeah, I do like make the most money outside of like my general manager and assistant general manager, because I'm like the only one who did it, and I've been there for so long. I'm trying to make it 10 years so I can get my benefits even after I quit. All right, we're just gonna watch the match first. I have the list pulled up, and we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the plays, talk about what they do, what she does.
The two players are
Gabriel
indeed
on
ready.
Draco Tail. If you haven't seen Draco Tail
Rosalie,
before or haven't paid attention to the TCG, Draco Tail, often paired with Brandon, is a fusion-based deck that very mid-range deck, plays pretty low to the ground, but it allows you to fuse with cards from your hand. Your monsters activate effects to fuse with cards in your hand, so you're able to do that sometimes during your opponent's turn, depending on your hand as well. And it basically makes like one boss monster, Draco Tail Arthelium, and then sets a bunch of traps on the field that have effects ranging from negating a spell or trap card, bouncing a monster, destroying a monster, or like banishing stuff out of your graveyard. So most of their interaction is their back row
between
and
two
just
players that are used
looping
to
value
such
like
pressure. And I mean, it makes sense because there are both
layered interaction
X2,
with
and
yep.
as you just said, one of them will not be able to qualify.
So
for
Rosalie
top 8.
loses the die
Gabriel
roll. We
won
start
the die
with
roll,
Draco Tail
and
Malulu.
then
This is
he'll
their
be
best normal
able
summon, their
to
best starter
start the
as
game.
well.
And he
Aside
starts
from
in a
maybe
very
Lucas,
good way, because we see that he's playing the Draco Tail strategy, starting
but
with
they all like a
Lulu.
fuse from
Indeed,
hand
it's
as
a
well
very good way
to
to
protect
try to play
themselves.
around some
It's basically layered like White Forest, but they don't need a turn one.
options, especially.
All right, so we're going Malulu. No effect on
use
summon a Malulu, but they are going to Rahu Draco Tail here. Rahu Draco Tail is basically branded fusion, is a fusion spell that lets them add cards afterwards and get into more of their engine. Chain Moltari Fuwalos.
Very good card. I mean, against the Draco Tail strategy, though, you can still kind of play around because you will just
chain
make,
Malulu effect.
your opponent draw
So
two.
we'll
But
chain
what about
second
the
Fuwalos because we're
one?
just
Two
goaded
Fuwalos,
like that.
the second one in a row, and now, I mean, it's a bit harder for Gabriel because you know that after each fusion summon, you will give many tools to your opponent.
Actually, I think Gabriel started his turn off here with a perfect way to play around Fuwalos because he normal summoned the Mululu and now was able to chain Mululu to the activation of the first Fuwalos, but when the second one hits, there's nothing to chain anymore.
So we're
we are
debating
drawing
activating
some
in
cards.
hand
I feel like
so
Rosie
that
is still
we
in a rush
avoid
from
the
that
last
top 4 finish at the World Championship and ready to get another big finish in here this weekend with a quite unique deck.
People that
because
shuffle their
White
hand while
Forest, yes, we
thinking
had it on
piss me off.
feature match yesterday as well once, but
All right, so they're fusing in hand, I believe.
that's not something you necessarily
No,
expect.
no,
We're
they're
using
resolving
3
Rahu.
cards from hand there to
Okay,
fusion
they're resolving
summon.
Rahu,
That's
fusing
crazy.
from hand.
One Imperm could
Arthelion.
be absolutely detrimental to his Aphelion, and all cards in hand for Gabriel would be gone.
Yeah, we've talked
So this
about
is
that
where
yesterday, and the
Dracotail
fact that,
lights
if you
up
try to interrupt the Arthelion,
is if they resolve Rahu and resolve Arthel and fusion summon their Arthelion, they get to add back the cards in their graveyard that they fused
and
with.
then you don't have any resources in hand, and we know that Dracotail strategy just wants to have many resources so that they are able
then set a
then
trap,
to
I
fuse
believe.
during the opponent turn. So now Gabriel, I mean, it's tough for him because
Or set a
he
spell or
knows that
trap.
he's going to have to face a lot of cards, a lot of tools, and we know that this strategy
So we're
from
setting
Roselli
Ketu,
likes to have a lot of cards in hand because you have to cost some spells,
and we add all
So,
3 back
yeah,
to our
pretty-
hand.
Pretty hard situation, but still
Activate
we have
Ketu.
Ketu, so we are going to add a little bit more resources.
Yeah, I think this is very well.
So we added
navigated by
Femina,
Gabriel,
and we
because as
have
did
the
see, because he chose to
Brixel
utilize
or
all
whatever
3
in
monsters
hand,
in the
I
hand.
believe.
There was no
Brixel,
longer a monster in the hand
Nibiru.
for the Rahu to resolve.
Exactly.
In turn, cutting
So
off
we know
Rosalie, getting
Nibiru is in
maximum
hand
advantage
for our
from
fifth
those
summon.
long-term full losses, which is actually really, really important. So you kind of see the direction that Gabriel wants to go to, passing straight here.
Passes it over Rosalie.
pass
I've
turn,
talked
draw
to
for
her.
turn.
She is confident in this White Forest deck, even being able to play into fields. Of course, we know it as a strong going first deck, putting up a huge field. But
I think there's goat in hand. I saw a Sylvie. Let's ignore the original fusion, the origin of fusion resources back immediately. I mean,
And the
yeah,
record
just update of
is
Yu-Gi-Oh.
kind of proving that is
All right,
confident
so we're
enough
starting
that
with
this deck
normal
can do a trick going
summon
second as well, and we
Sylvie.
are starting off with the normal
We
summon
know there's
of
Nib in
Sylvie
hand
here.
for our fifth
And this is a
summon,
pretty good one. We are
and they
going to get
have
access to more
Dracotail
resources
monsters in
from the
hand
deck,
to go
and,
into Arthelion
it will just
or
go through.
the
I mean, this is
Secretarion to
already very
lock out
scary
our
because you know that you
effects
are
of our
against
spellcasters.
a very, very strong strategy. The White Forest cards.
We add Witch of the
they're
White Forest
very
here.
good going first, going second. They are
Which this is
still
the safe
pretty
ad, because if
decent,
they
to be
pop
honest. Of course,
Sylvie,
you have the problem that your buff
then if we added Tails, then our Tails would just be in dead in
is,
hand.
your monsters, they have to stay
Which
on
is
the
the
field so that you can
easiest for
perform
going
these
second.
synchro summons, and we know that the
Because they would have to
strategy
respond
has
to the activation
access
of
to
Witch,
cards like
otherwise
Arthelion
you
to
get a
try
1-card
to
combo
get
with
them
your
back in the
LSET.
hand. So it's
Alright, I
gonna
did see a
revolve around
Woes
the
in
ability
there.
at Arthelion to try to get
It looks like Woes, Blackout, Black Goat, and
back in the
another
hand.
trap.
So it's gonna revolve around the ability of Roselli to try to still put more bodies on the field than Gabriel can just give back to the hand.
I mean, the crazy thing is, Rosalie knows every card in hand. Gabriel, it was a nice move by him to use all of those monsters from the hand to make sure that his own card wouldn't resolve anymore, playing around the Fuwalos, but it gave away so much information as well. We know there's an Ibiru, so Rosalie will have to play around that one carefully, which
Maybe that's yeah, we know that's a go. Maybe that's a curse of Diva. Oh, we're just going to battle. Okay.
We are just in the battle phase here, playing around Malulu's fusion.
All right, we're
effect in the
playing
main
very
phase.
conservatively.
So that is the first thing we want to
It's annoying as how my Femina plays around Impulse for no reason.
make sure that it's not fusion something that way, but there's Femina still
All
waiting in
right,
the hand.
going Witch first.
And now we activate the field spell, which is of course a very good field spell.
So I don't
but
think we have
it
Tails in
cuts you
hand,
off
obviously.
From, some
How's
cards
that?
of your deck, of course.
You've already
because
used our
you
normal summon.
You only can then special summon some light monsters and no dark
Oh, that is
monsters.
hollowed. All right, hollowed. It looks like Curse
Exactly that, and the
Goat.
Azamino, which will be the exact direct kind of combination or the counter to the Nibiru currently in
Send
Gabriel's
Goat for
hand is,
LZ,
of course,
okay.
going to be the Dark Monster.
So now
To
we
make it
can
a little
Goat
bit
call
more
Arthelion and shut
coming
off
back to
their
that,
resource
knowing
loop.
that your opponent has an Nibiru, sometimes the fear of the unknown is a little bit more nerve-wracking than the actual guarantee, and I think that's going to be very, very important here to see how Rosalie navigates around that. And we've already seen that we've been able to...
Yeah, we are locked out of darks. So the biggest bane in existence of White Forest players on the feature match is the field spell locks you out of dark from the extra deck. And every single White Forest player I have watched on the feature match play on the feature match has always gotten like DQ'd or game lost because multiple times they forget about the dark lock and they fuck up their line or don't play Azamina Debtors to like set up your Azamina line for your opponent's turn
into the graveyard, and that graveyard effect is also very, very useful.
It is so good, just making sure that a Phalion cannot be summoned when you call a Phalion.
And we do just grab Diabells here, right?
That is just something that is completely shutting down that Draco Tail deck. So right now, already, with so little cards being played from all these Rosalie's side, it feels like it's turning into her favor here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The fact that
because as long as we get access to our Diabells and our Diabell Star Vengeance, like, we're gaming.
So huge because, of course, Gabriel wanted to play the Arcelion. I mean, his whole strategy revolves around that because then you are able to force your opponent to play into the Nibiru. And yeah, I mean, for now, it's going very well. We are going to perform Synchro Summon here.
So the only problem is, because we started Witch, we're locked out of Dark, so we can't make Azamina Ill Sylvia. And since we normal summoned Sylvie, we can't go into Herald of the Arclight because we don't have access to a stellar normal summon. Now, it's if you're extra dark locked, Nib can also do more normally, but yeah, object permanence had that in Master Duel added Hallowed because I dropped the field spell for LZ too. So what we could have done here, and it is a bit of a jank of a line, I will be honest, but in, LZ could have grabbed instead of your Diabells, could have grabbed your Aza LZ. And then we go Aza LZ, make the 6, get Sinful Spoils of the White Forest, add a Stellar, and we can special summon the Stellar and make a with the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest and make a Herald of the Arclight. It does play worse into Nibiru though, so
6, and it's probably, yeah, it's gonna be the...
I still think this is probably the correct play.
It's also a classic duel between summoning mechanics here. We have the fusions on the one hand and the synchros are coming out there now.
Okay.
And we have the discard of Woes of the White Forest. And when we discard that, it will be able to reset itself, of course. So that's another great discard next to the Black Goat Loss that we already have.
Really what she's trying to do, what I assume she's trying to do, is she's just trying to get him to Nib as soon as humanly possible. Can we go Synchro 12 to at least put the fusion in the back row?
Even when you do lock yourself into not being able to access your dark monsters, it has so many good light monsters.
If he nibs the board, the fusion goes away. Like, he nibs his own
trap cards or spell cards specifically.
Which, that's where we're at right now, because we've already... This is summon number 5.
And as we mentioned yesterday, the White Forest strategy needs
this is the 5th summon.
Very nice and very calculated balance between the
so we are just trying to get them to nib as soon as humanly possible, so we can end on the Diabells and Diabell Star.
Considering that Dracotail also want to maintain their
resources. If I was putting my mind into Rosalie's, if I was trying to get in the same hand. We also know about, we know their entire hands, because we saw them add back all of the Dracotail monsters.
If he doesn't interrupt her well, I mean, it's going to be absolutely awful for him.
Alright, so 5 mana effect here to fuse.
5 mana. But the problem is that, of course, we still have the Black Goat Loaf in the graveyard. We have to activate it preemptively. Otherwise, the effect will resolve, of course.
So now we can go Black Goat, call Arthelion, and shut them off of resources?
Because you can either say Arthelion, or you can say Gulamel. But I think that it's going to be Arthelion 99% of the time.
I would agree.
We don't really care about the Gulamel, because Gulamel can only pop cards, and all of our stuff, our Resillia is immune to destruction.
Yesterday, for example,
we don't really care about Resillia either.
We see competitive players, when we see good players, they think about every move so deeply, and the decision
we're going to see what they make first.
And we are not using Black Goat Lofts here. I mean, it's tricky, because whatever Rosalie is calling Gabriel is just summoning the other monster, really.
Absolutely.
So it's a bit of a gamble that Rosalie did.
I mean,
not
that's the
want
thing
to
with
take here.
having Black Goat in the grave. Like, you get
maybe
to
if you
just
can
hang back and
just say
see
Arcelion
and
you can play around
react
with
for the
Lamel,
most part.
Then, if you know that you're able to do so,
Fuse
might be a
with
good
the
decision
Arcelion.
to say Arcelion, but Rosalie decided that she just wants to.
Forgot the
let
effect on
Gabriel-
Black Goat. So Black Goat says you cannot act if you banish it from the graveyard. You cannot activate the effects of that card on the field. They can still activate the effect of the card in their hand or graveyard, which is very important because I believe the opponent misses that. But if it is activated, if you flip over Black Goat like it's a normal trap, then they can't special summon the named card.
play.
But it only shuts off the activated effects of the card.
Arcelion, and he thinks very carefully. I mean, the amount of pressure on those two players is absolutely.
So we're just holding up on
insane,
it.
To be honest, this round.
I assume they
10,
make
I mean,
Gulamel
and
if they're doing.
5 after that. Is something.
It is definitely crazy. And to give some background on Rosalie and the White Forest,
fusing
that she's
3.
bringing, it feels like she since Euro is just taking new challenges every tournament, and she wants to be with one really big result. At the
they're
European
making
Championship,
second
it was
Arcelion.
Vanquish Soul, where second place was enough to then switch over to a different deck at the World Championship. Turned out to be Sky Striker. I think quite satisfied with the top 4 finish there with Sky Strikers as well. So for
Alright, Arcelion,
YC's
target
Lille
pan.
then, it was White Forest all of a sudden. I think she also was influenced by Dino, who made 9th place at the World
Malulu
Championship with White
effects.
Forest, and they were quite close there. And
so we know the last
wasn't
card in
enough
hand
for
is
top
just
8
Nibiru.
finish. So we stick to the same deck because we need that big result before
Alright,
we
there
can
he
move on to
goes.
the next.
Alright, he goes Malulu effect to pop. Or bounce. What does Malulu do again? Hold on. I don't remember which one Malulu is. Malulu, Yugioh. If this card is sent to the graveyard as fusion material is set, and then you can negate the effects of one face-up monster your opponent controls. Okay. Malulu is the negate. So he's going to negate Rasilia, which I don't think is like we care about because Rasilia's already gotten the ad.
Deck.
And we see something which is crucial
Unless
here, the ability to
using
just
Pan to
get
pop.
some monsters back on the field by returning the synchro monsters from the field or graveyard to the extra deck. And I think that this is very, very important because you can literally dodge some kind of interactions from Gabriel's side. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty good here because you still have access to
Pan
a
effect
level
to
4
pop.
and a level
I mean, if he's
2. Which is great. We are.
oh, okay. So did Malulu effect to negate? We changed Sylvie. All right, I don't like the change Sylvie to the Malulu effect because like we don't really care. Well, I guess it does let him pop the Rasilia. So if he negates the Rasilia, he can then pop the Rasilia with the pan. By the way, what do we exactly do without Sylvia access? Some lists play debtors. This list doesn't.
With the Arcelion, right?
So they really don't have access to any of the Azamina line unless you fuse with LZ Azamina, but without or with Witch locking us, we don't have access to Azamina whatsoever. Really, we're just winning off the back of Diabells and Diabell Star.
But do we have here in this particular case? We send something to keep on going. This, I was expecting honestly Diabell Star, but this is Diabells, the White Witch, which we activate here by sending the field spell to the graveyard. And that is extension that can provide.
But we still know the last card in hand is a Nibiru. So he is going to Nibiru this board regardless.
That Nibiru in the hand of Gabriel. We know it's still there.
Summon Chaos Angel if he doesn't respect it.
knows it because it was discarded on the first turn.
Yeah, no, because Chaos Angel's a dark. So we still can't. We don't have access to Chaos Angel. Send Curse, Curse add Filia. This is played about as well as you could without having access to both lines.
So Gabriel has to read. It's never a good sign. Gabriel is such an accomplished player, but even he has to read.
And we still have Goat for next turn as well. We still have not used Goat.
White Forest cards, and that now is the Diabellstar Vengeance, another newer card. That White Forest deck got a lot better.
It's tough to remember. A lot of key monsters are darks. Like you can't SP Little Knight, you can't Chaos Angel, you can't do any of your Azamina lines. Like it is a very annoying lock to have on a field spell. When like a lot of decks just have normal Rotas.
Was released, but still the amount of waves of support it always be received, and like, oh yeah, 2 cards here in this main set, another 2 cards here in that set, and Diabellstar Vengeance from that regard was somewhat recent.
And the set was probably Ketu Arahu, so we really want to just pop the set. So they're all for resources as well.
Summon.
But all we have left is just banish a spell and a trap for Diabellstar Vengeance.
Usually it is the Poplar that you want to special summon from the extra deck, and it is of course a very, very strong interaction with your opponent. And I mean, things are getting
the good news is if we live through this, their next turn, if they draw blank, oh, we are going Snake Eyes Vengeance.
And
okay.
A big one that is, because we do not go for that Poplar of the White Forest, but instead we would go for Snake Eye monster, not Snake Eye Poplar, but instead the Vengeance Dragon. Or is he called Vengeance Dragon?
I don't know if I like this.
I was for a second I was questioning myself because it's Diabellstar Vengeance, but now the Snake Eye Vengeance.
I guess it is
the same
just
name. Kind of confusing, but we got it out, and it's a big one.
And now
to summon
we go
here.
effect, banish a spell and trap. But now we don't get the synchro off of Diabellstar Vengeance.
Gabriel.
So the line I was thinking
what he can do
is we summon Diabellstar Vengeance here. Go to pop back row, special summon a tuner synchro. He nibs in response, but we get the tuner synchro in the grave for Sylvie to summon back next turn.
Can Rosalie somehow really maybe even
we've already gone to battle this turn
through all of this?
So we'll go Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon to push
yes,
something.
Being able to
push an Arthelion.
All those monsters through the interactions, Of course, we had a little bit of help, especially with the Black God Love still in the graveyard. But I mean, it was very well done by her. We are still setting a card, and we know that there is another interaction during the opponent's turn because we still have access to the trap card, the hose.
And we still have access to go in the grave.
We are heading into the end phase, doesn't it?
We still have a woes set. We don't know that. We don't know this set.
It's going to be very back and forth. You know, Gabriel now trying to interact with Rosalie's field, which is pretty good, considering the fact that she went second.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we nib here. So chain, pop your trap, spell trap.
Chain both of our vengeances, though. Going after that.
Oh, we're going out. Okay, that's actually very heads up play. I didn't think about that. We're gonna do Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon to spell and trap a monster. We're gonna spell and trap the pan because the pan can shuffle itself back and let them draw. So we're just cutting them off of as many resources as possible.
To be Keto Draco Tail, so we are clearing up the field in terms of
monsters.
Isn't it hallowed? Due to that
I know they have hallowed in hand, but we don't know. We don't know the set is.
Tail, limiting the resources from Gabriel massively here.
Yeah, very good trade-off here on the Nibiru, remembering that the Vengeance Witch also has the ability to come back from the graveyard as well for the cost of half the life points, which we've already seen happen, but we might see again later on. And then we do have
a huge token
into a synchro summon, just making sure
that
you
they can't get around
on the field, which shouldn't be too difficult.
Might be hallowed as bluff. It could be very well be hallowed as a bluff.
A very impressive field. A lot of very well navigated interactions here has kind of swung the pendulum a little bit back to Rosalie.
This is only the first game of the day, but it's already proving to be so intense. And I mean, now that is only going to continue throughout the day. Every match is going to matter more as we're getting closer and closer.
So now we go and just call Arthelion.
No time. Draw phase.
So now they can't activate the Arthelion effects for the rest of the turn.
100% going to be Draco Tail
on the field, so they can't loot their resources.
It absolutely makes sense because we want Gabriel, who is actually low on resource, to stay low on resource and to be able to see another turn on the side of Rosalie. So what do you do as Gabriel in this situation? Because this is not a very good situation. Of course, there is still the Arthelion in the graveyard that you can bring back.
Normal Malulu.
That's a pretty good
Malulu effect.
Like, Malulu is, of course, in the hand.
Was known to be there, but nothing else. We're just trying to go into the end phase, and there is.
Oh, we're just going in phase. Okay.
Woes of the White Forest from Rosalie. What can we do with this? We don't necessarily have to synchro summon. So maybe we just
summon Sylvie. Sylvie adds, and now we get LZ
that's
back.
Exactly what we're going to do, and that is going to provide us with more engine here. Grabbing back the Estella from the graveyard. Seems like Rosie can really get back into her synchro shenanigans here.
And we are getting some resources back here from Zeli.
Oh, I mean, we get full
don't have
combo
to
back.
Interact with the opponent, of course. So we get the LZ. The problem is that when you are playing White Forest, of course, you want to cost a lot of
That's
cards.
why I use Woes as an e-telly mainly.
So it's pretty much not only
We don't
one
get
card,
what the
but
fuck? We don't get
multiple cards
Tails?
that will lead you to
Hello?
the victory. And
Okay.
when you are
I mean,
at
just
the
playing
grind game, it's way harder to get access to those
Oh,
resources.
I mean, if
So
we have
here
Hallowed,
we
if
use
that's Hallowed
the
in
Woes
hand,
to
then
get
yeah,
access to the
simple.
Sylvie, and the Sylvie will let us get some more fuel for the next turn.
Oh yeah, we do know that's Hallowed in
It's gonna be
hand,
a very
so it
interesting game.
just
Like,
is a
these
free Omni
grind games
and forces
between
out the
Blacktail
Malulu.
and White Forest are very, very interesting because every single interaction leads you to more advantage, and this advantage leads you to victory.
Yeah, exactly that. And I think the one thing that we didn't get to see in Rosalie's first turn is the access to the Dark Monsters, being the Azaminas and everything else in between. So when you're able to get access to Sinful Spores of the White Forest, this will unlock a whole lot of options for you. And again, as we've already seen, as it is a White Forest spell or trap, the majority of the time they will be able to reset themselves back to the spell and trap zones and be able to be utilized with the LZ as
Stellar
well. So
here.
you're getting a lot of advantage back here, and this really is going to be a resource management game between the two. And I feel that both of these duelists have been very, very well.
Wait, that's the thing is the White Forest. If you make it
explored on this one as well, being able to make sure
if you
that
make
either
it
player
back to
are
your
maintaining
turn,
their resources or
even if you get
limiting the amount of
Nibiru,
resources
even
that your
if you get
opponent can have.
stopped or
And we're
whatever,
starting to see
if you
Rosalie
make it
start
back to your
take a few
turn for
more
your
steps
turn
closer
3,
to that one.
you loop so
LZ
many
searches
resources, you
Astella
loop your full
now.
combo back.
Discarded the Sinful Spells of the White Forest.
Now it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it was Hallowed in hand.
In
Okay.
hand now too, and that card can
So
prove
this is
trouble
going to force out the
because
Malulu.
When we can just establish the Azamina Ildia Sylvia, that could mean that Gabriel will be checked on his
Malulu
ability
effect.
to fusion summon, so we have to change.
Oh, it was another goat! That's why she's the goat!
Wow. You would consider that to be maybe a little bit bricky to draw multiple of those, but still she finds her
So
way
we
into this
just
match
call
here.
Arthelion here.
Oh, with
Keep them
the
off of
more
resources
charming
again?
fools that was drawn from Gabriel's side. Brings
So they
out
have to make
Gulamel.
Gulamel?
So we must have called a Fowler in here
Yeah.
again with the Black Gold Loves. Sure.
100%, yeah, 100%. And the fact that now you have access to the Azamina cards is very, very hard for Gabriel. Of course, last turn we didn't have access to those cards because we were locked into
Make Illa Sylvia,
white
obviously,
monster,
to protect your combo.
light monsters.
Yeah.
But now we have the Ilya Sylvia, and
now
I
we
don't really
have
know
Effects
what
Engrave
Gabriel
that
can
we
do
just
in this
chain Illa
situation,
Sylvia
be honest,
to.
because every single time he's gonna try to interact with the Gulamel, I mean, the Ilya Sylvia will be there to try to prevent that. And this is a very scary situation because we still have access to the Synchro monsters thanks to the level 2 and level 4 on the field, and we know that the White Forest strategy...
So we
when
have
it's not
a Stellar
interrupted,
and
I
one
mean,
more card in
it's
hand.
literally over.
It is Gabriel now still resolving that other effect, but that's not going to prove any kind of interruption. So from here on out, it feels like Rosalie is just free to do whatever she wants. And we know there is the tools on hand to make this happen. Gulamel is only strong when you have other Draco Tail cards to go alongside with it. But Gabriel will not be able to make any of those.
I mean, they have to
live
set
here for
Ketu
this
or
turn.
Rahu here, but they're just dead this
One
turn.
thing- oh, wait,
We
cannot
also
even
still have
activate the
access to
Fowler in the
Diabell Star
graveyard
Vengeance.
now due to that Black Code Loss being used on it, and Gabriel is shaking his head. I think we're just drawing.
I mean, we can still activate it because we can special summon from the graveyard still.
Oh, can we? Oh, is that possible?
Yeah, you can special summon from the graveyard.
Hallowed Shuffle
but
back
from
as a
no
LZ.
other place.
That's true. So that is actually something we have to consider.
Oh wait!
Because that
Oh,
would
we
be
had
where the
a simple
Gulamel could be
Spells of Era in
changing.
hand. That
But
was that
first
had
of
to be
all,
the
we
draw.
bring out Murcielago.
But is it gonna
All
be
right,
enough? That's the
now they're just
question,
dead.
because only
Now they're
one
just hella dead.
destruction, It might not stop.
Oh, we got a reader.
the
We
White
got a
Forest
reader. So Simple Spell Silvera in the grave is a negate if they chain to anything, any of your Diabell Star or Sinful Spoils effects.
Grabs
But yeah, this is full
grabs
combo.
Diabell Star.
You wanted. Oh no, Alt Art Diabell Star. What? Is that ulti Diabell Star? Yo, what the fuck? Didn't know this is amateur. No
This
alt
is
arts.
just going really, really well. We saw a
Shake my head.
60-card version
Shake
of
my
White Forest
head.
yesterday on the backup featured match from Dominic. This, and I was amazed by that. this deck from Rosalie is bringing it all down to clean 40 cards. Honestly, seeing
All right,
white
now
forest decks like
now
that,
we have full combo. We also have a
struggled to see
giant
that
token
before
to
because
just kill them
usually
with.
they're like, yeah, we can do 48, 49,
The Bell Star
50,
send
60, whatever, but
Mover
Rosalie's really playing
Yago,
the
reset
most
the
consistent
deception,
version of the deck
add
with
back
a
the
clean
Aza
40.
LZ.
Yeah, what I love about
As
the White
LZ
Forest
to make
strategy
the
is the exact
8,
ability to play
add back the
power
Hallowed.
trap cards or power spell cards like the Black Goat that lost as well can really give you a bit of an edge because, again, that balance between monsters and
You
spells
managed
and
to spell
traps
in a
really
trap
does limit your
because we have
ability
2
to play
DFL stars on the
multiple
field.
hand
We don't
trap,
even
hand
need
interactions in
the
forms like Ash Blossoms and the Mole Chummies and
Pop
the
your back
Beerus themselves,
row.
the Fet Failers, the list goes on and on and on. So you kind
Make
of find
a
the closest alternatives that will
make
meet
a
both of your
Poplar,
requirements.
okay.
And this is looking really, really good here for Rosalie because we're able to kind of, I feel the biggest thing we need to worry about now, as you've already mentioned, is the Arfulion in the graveyard. But if you don't let 2 monsters
Oh,
enter the
Doom
graveyard at the
Dragon.
same time,
Okay, yeah,
it's not
that's
gonna
actually pretty
happen.
good. This, all right. I've always been super off on Doomed Dragon, but it is so good in strictly this meta where like decks where you have to have just good grind game, especially against a lot of these mid-range decks like Draco Tail and K9. And that's where like Doom Dragon really shines, is when you get to turn 3 and get to do this, where you get to set 2.
2 monsters enter the graveyard at the same time.
Does she have
It's not gonna happen.
PEP? Do we know? I don't think she's on PEP. I think she's on Doom Dragon and Azamina, pure Azamina. So yeah, let's scoop it up. We had full combo there. Absolutely dead.
Game number 1.
Rolled and
Above
smoked.
Gabriel Susi, such a strong opponent to defeat here with not even winning the die roll, so that must be a good feeling here for Rosalie right away.
I mean, they were dead every which way. Like even if
I feel the biggest
even if we don't Doom Dragon here for the win, we could go Silvera, Book of Eclipse them, attack over both things, and lethal them with the token and these 2. Or all of our monsters. So
we need to worry about now.
Any which way, once you make it to turn 3, you're killing your opponent.
2 monsters enter the graveyard at the same time.
Right away.
It's a choose your own adventure at that point.
It's when you have a lot of cards.
Fool us is maybe bring all the way to a top 8 finish here, but first of all, 2 more games possibly to be played here in this first match. So step by step, Rosalie, don't get ahead of yourself, but that is going to be another tough one here to face. But of course now we can also use
Even it during
Doom Dragon can also be good if White Forest goes turn 2. So like it's hard because you need specifically monsters, or isn't it like spells and traps? Unless I'm like misreading its effect, which could be very sending 2 face-up monster cards from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard. So you specifically need to resolve Poplar, which is I mean, like I said, like it happens. It's more so a turn 3 card. Like it's more so a grind card, because if you're resolving Diabellstar Vengeance going second, you're killing them. Like they're just dead regardless of how you play, and they're just dead. Because if you're resolving Diabellstar Vengeance, you're either making Poplar to make Vengeance Dragon, or you're making Silvera to Book of Eclipse them and then double pierce them. Yeah, you have 4 DBL monsters, so 2 on the board should be possible. Oh yeah, no, it's absolutely possible. I'm just saying, if you are resolving Diabellstar Vengeance, you are killing them. Like regardless of having Doomed Dragon or not in your extra deck. I guess Doom Dragon does get around. I had this actually come up at locals Saturday, where this would have worked better. Is I played against a Odeon deck, whatever it's called, Man with a Mark, and he set up a lock on the field that all of his monsters couldn't be destroyed by card effects, and none of his back row monsters could be, or back row cards could be destroyed by card effects. Like nothing could be destroyed on the field by card effects. So the only way to like get rid of it would have been to like push it to the back row, or push the Odeon to the back row, or what was I gonna say? or like tribute over it or something with like Azumina. Probably just a good in case card. It's also good against Branded to put Mirror Jade in back rows. Oh yeah, true, very true. It's a lot easier to get to. I guess it does just give you a second option too, because if they see you like resolve pop or like go Diabell Star Vengeance pop, summon Poplar, they know Vengeance Dragon is coming, so they would like get rid of the Poplar, but if they get rid of the Diabell Star, but if they get rid of the Poplar, then you can just make the Doom Dragon push. So yeah, that does actually also work. It's an extra layer of like interruption. But yeah, playing the Odeon player, how I ended up killing him is he had to normal summon Man with the Mark. So I just made I made Moa Regina and made Murcielago. Dropped Murcielago's effect, dropped his attack down to 0 with Man with the Mark, like minus 500 for each Azumina monster on the field, and then just tacked into his Man with the Mark that couldn't be destroyed by battle or card effects with all of my like 3k beaters. It was actually hilarious. It was a fun game.
He's gonna go first once again, and of course, we hope for him that he's
we're
gonna
going
be
second
beat by 2 fellows once again, because it's gonna be hard if it is the case. But
oh, we are checking our extra deck.
I mean,
we are sorting our extra deck. That means we opened no interaction. All right.
Helped a lot, to be honest. But
let's go, gamers. We are watching the unskippable cutscene. Yeah, what's going on, Legamon? How's it going?
Have this huge help from the Charmies.
I have a
unskippable cutscene time,
what
chat.
What are you thinking when your opponent looks at their hand and
I'm
then
gonna grab
afterwards
water.
just starts sorting their extra deck? Is that a sign of, hey, I don't have anything here to do on your turn anyways? Or is that just a bluff maybe from Rosalie's side there? Okay, but focusing on Gabriel, we are going with the Lugias, which is, of course, a start, which sometimes is the most important part of the Draco set, like that you just find a start and not a break, and that surely is not a break here right now from Gabriel. But do you think that's something that Rosalie is giving away? Was that maybe showing we do not have full wheels this time?
to be honest, I think that's just kind of like it's something that I quite like to do. If I'm playing a multi-type extra deck, I like them to be organized.
Okay,
I don't know why.
I see.
I like them to be, I know where my synchros are, I know where my fusions are.
Fair.
So I think it's probably more that, but it does make it very, very interesting of maybe, and this could be extra spicy if you wanted to play a Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. Just, what do I have that I could use here?
Maybe I'm just an unorganized and messy person, man, because I wouldn't care about that. I'm like, I focus on this game right here, right now. But Rosalie, surely, with her type of success, has found a way for herself.
Right.
Okay, now comes with Rahu.
Trying to build a deck from the anime. Hell,
and this time no response, so we don't have any merch armies in Rosalie's hand, which is of course pretty good for Gabriel, but it is also scary because we are not in game 2, so we know
Brandon's gonna be very good. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it's
Rosalie's hand, and we know that White Forest, as Dale said,
it's always been
before,
popular as well. Like even with the new support, like there's always going to be dedicated Branded players.
Oh, that's a good combination there.
I think I don't know. It's going to be with an even
and I wouldn't be surprised
with the
if
burst protocol support. Like some of the lines get crazy
for the moment. That's fair.
But it's really just going to depend on like what people come up
is
with.
Of course very good, because if we get access to it in the hand, we will be able to destroy a spell and traps on Rosalie's side on her turn, and this is of course insane because
so we just have full Draco Tail combo. We have 2 setback row.
Spell and trap and to utilize them to
new toy syndrome will kick in.
So if we remove those resources, then it becomes harder.
Ooh, 5 mana too now. We keep on fusion summoning using the Lugias from the field as
I think it's going to force like decks to adapt Droplet, like play Droplets, play Imperms again, because you have to have some sort of interaction for
it is a Secretarian here.
Albion.
Very interesting
so you don't get
hold on, I mean,
so you don't get locked
with the
again.
White Forest deck, there is a lot of spellcasters in there, right?
So
the
get floodgated out of the game.
Actually could be a really good.
Alright, we're making
tool here
Secretarian Dragon going first.
It is also shutting down the spellcasters, isn't it?
Very important that Secretarian Dragon is it shuts off the effects of special summoned dragon and spellcaster monsters. So it's a floodgate for special summoned White Forest monsters, basically.
The fact is, this is very interesting to bring it now.
Seems like OCG post support Brandon is just public October or so, which is why it's banned here anyways. The issue is, as long as Albion, the White Dragon or whatever, Sanctified Dragon, is legal, there's so many cards that just basically puppet lock. Like they're using a DDD card now. They use Ito, the Supreme Magical Force, to where you have to be running droplets or something to get it off your field.
Your Secretarian is vulnerable.
People can play Raw's Disciple.
And it might also have been interesting to play it during
There's so many dumb cards that do that because they just never ban the Albion.
I mean, not very surprising, but you know.
But this is already looking so much better on Gabriel's end. He is able to set up those important trap cards. We talked about that being the recipe to success for every Draco Tail player. Usually you're not winning because of the monsters on the field.
So we have all three trap cards. We have Horn, Tail, and the other one set.
Flame, and Horn.
Looks like we have a Thrust.
Find a combination of those here this time around.
Is that Ophelia?
This
looks
is
like
very
Ophelia.
setup, to be honest. Like, you've got access to Mululu, you've got some very good cards.
Another
in hand,
goat.
And you've got access to all your trap cards. On top of that, you have the Secretarian.
Sphere mode about to go hard.
No
Sphere mode would be so good here.
And Rosalie will have a lot of work to do.
Oh, it's Silvera.
Okay.
It wasn't Goat.
We start off by discarding
16 views. Why am I popular? We're big growing VTuber. We're big famous VTuber now. 16 viewers.
Fact of our LZ here.
Yeah, I think Sting is actually going to play.
I appreciate everyone being here this morning. I know it's not the usual stream time.
But the benefit of Sting that you're going to get over anything like Flame.
All right, we're starting with LZ.
Is that you can't really fully play around them, and the added benefit of that one is you're not only going to get rid of a spell or trap as a resource that the White Forest want, but you can also get rid of one of the monsters that want to act as a recurable resource as well. So 2 for 1 is always going to be a very, very powerful trade-off here.
So the one weakness of White Forest is White Forest is dog shit against back row. White Forest cannot clear back row going second unless we open specifically like Harpy's Feather Duster.
Mind fully seeing because it does mean that it's
so we just have to fight. We have to just fight through their back.
Some form of advantage. Definitely, when you see that trap card hit the graveyard and start to have monsters entering the field of play, you start to have a bit more of a sigh of relief that there is no.
Alright, we had Tails here.
Draw phase, standby phase, main phase, straight to battle phase. So that is always a heart skipper for any duelist.
Yeah, so for the people wondering why the Secretarian Dragon is not stopping any of this, it only interacts with special summoned monsters on the
I see a
field.
Diabell Star in hand.
LZ activated in the hand, so unaffected.
Throne link not working. Oh, is it not working? Ah! Why did I do that? Why did I click that? Fuck! Shit. I'll check that out later. I'll figure it out later. Konyo, what's going on? Kokenyo?
By it, and
How's
that's
it going?
Sylvie,
Give me
of course,
on,
is a normal
big bets.
summon, so they're both spellcasters, but they were able to resolve the effect here. But now Gabriel wants to have a say in this second turn as well, starting off with the Draco Tail Flame here.
Yeah, so this is what I think is always important when you are facing synchro style
Oh,
decks.
okay. I think I see what the issue is. I think there's
access because without a tuner, there is no synchro.
Hyperlink
so
to
that's where
me
it becomes very, very difficult, and I feel that we're going to be starting seeing very well controlled trade-offs here from Gabriel.
And this is very interesting because, of course, we play very carefully. Here we removed the access to a tuner, of course.
I need to add cards to my my wish list and be like, hey, buy me Yummy Core, chat.
Here, which is an access to some more
buy
engine,
me
but,
Draco Tail Core.
Still,
I'm
there's the
poor.
Secretarian, and the Secretarian is putting on a lot of work, in my opinion, because, yeah, we've used the LZ already, we've used the normal summon, so now we will have to just deal with the Secretarian to be able to activate the other effects.
Yeah, we still have Mululu as well, which can be a massive component here because we
Buy
have
me Pokemon packs.
Pan back in the hand. So again, that's another way to limit resource or limit access to
should work
tuners
now.
again. And just trying to pick them off piece by piece can really start to limit everything. And I think this is a really, really interesting duel. And going off with the Deception can change some plans right here.
It's actually
All right, so very important. He cannot chain to Deception here. If he chains to Deception here, it gets negated by, and that's why he's reading Silvera right now. He cannot chain to the Deception. And he cannot chain to the Diabell Star effect either. So Rosalie knows this. Rosalie, that's why we're doing this line first, is we're just trying to bait him to use his back row. There's the other throne one. All right, should both work now.
some things because of course,
support my addiction.
Deception is
Support
a
my card game
very
addictions.
crucial part of the
My
white forest
cardboard.
strategy. You get access not only to
Please.
some
It gives me dopium opening packs.
to a negate in the form of
Oh
Ilya
yeah, we got it.
Sylvia,
All right,
and
he's
this negate
rereading Silvera. He
might force
knows.
Gabriel to
He's
react.
learned. He's seen the
We shall
ways.
see. We know there's a way to react to spell cards, of course, also in the Draco Tail deck, so maybe that's the moment we want to go after. Is that where we activate the next card? We've used the horn, but is this the moment for Flame? Seems like it is. Draco Tail Flame being chained to the activation of the Deception here.
And
that
we
will
get
negate its effect. But interestingly enough, we did not wait for the activation of the effect, because there was nothing tributed for the Deception just yet.
It's because if he
I'm
does it in
wondering why that was
response
the
to
case
the
here on
effect,
Gabriel's
then
end.
he
maybe
gets
we want to get
negated.
access to more resources faster. I don't know, but
So he has to do it
indeed,
on activation
we
of the
are going
card.
to activate. Oh, we are going to chain the Mululu to the effect of Rosalie.
Now we still have effect of Elza Azamina here to fusion summon, go into Murasil Yugioh, add Hallowed.
I'm sure Rosalie does. She has some experience with this White Forest deck, and also she must truly believe that there is a way
I think
to
that's
win
the
this
line
game.
here.
Otherwise, we probably would have seen her scoop fast, but she believes there is
Yeah,
a
we
way
absolutely
into
can play
this.
here.
But time management, of course, is a crucial part about Yugioh.
All right, I will say this is the thing that pisses me off the most about watching EU YCSs. No, yeah, it's on activation of effects. So activating the card, he would have to respond to. But yeah, this is the thing that pisses me off about watching EU YCSs, especially when there's a White Force player on the screen. It always happens when there's a White Force player. They're like, oh well, the White Force player really needs to think about the time management and conceding the game so they can go to game 3 and not go to double time. And I'm like, the White Forest is still in the middle of their combo. They're still like have playable outs here where they can out this board. And they're like, oh, well, they just really need to concede here into time management. And I'm like, we're not in a losing position. It's crazy to me.
High-level Yu-Gi-Oh! At big tournaments, and falling below 20 minutes here on the overall timer could be something they would have to pay attention
like it is,
to if they want to finish the match in the given
like it is not it is not the White Forest player's fault that the opponent is thinking and reading cards.
Another monster, and this is all what it is about.
So we go effective Elzet here. All right, now we fusion to Malulu, bounce or pop.
And those powerful synchro monsters. And if you pay attention, every single time there was 2 monsters on the field, Gabriel reacted and decided to remove 1 monster on the field so that Rosalie is not able to just continue and keep going on his combos, on her combos.
Yeah, I think one very core and important piece that we've just seen with Gabriel as well. If you are if you're familiar with the Dracotail strategy, you should know this already, but what you really need to be very important with is recycling your trap cards off of one another. Once you get the first one into the graveyard, you want to make sure that when you're activating the second trap card, you're able to put back the first one. It can actually be
Thrust.
Tactic, Thrust.
Now all of a sudden, all of those powerful spell and trap cards in the deck become available immediately through triple tactics Thrust.
So we can even thrust for Hallowed Azamina here as well.
As we are stuck
it is a normal spell
there on the field, but it could be something possibly evenly strong. Maybe
thrust for Hallowed. Okay. See, we're still full comboing here
by negating the deception of the sinful spells, but we can just surge it with Thrust instead.
Yeah, I think coming back
and because it's an illusion, it doesn't get negated by the Secretarian.
Very, very important because we've already used the flame on the deception, and we didn't allow that to kind of take away resource or Rosalie. This is going to be a very, very interesting kind of play. Sting.
Sting.
Okay. Want to preemptively get rid of that.
Absolutely, we get rid of that, and of course we are going to get another card in hand, which is great because we want to prevent, I think, the Laura Azamina to just resolve. We've got a lot of cards, to be honest, in the hand to try to deal with it. We've got 5 cards.
Got Philia in hand too.
Also just being activated here, step by step, Rosalie revealing every single card she has in her hand, and that just adds a level 8 or higher Diabellstar.
No, it special summons it to the field.
It is going to be Diabellstar Vengeance.
And now we have Diabellstar in hand. We have normal Diabellstar in hand.
Special summon it straight
so now we get the Tuner Synchro as well.
Diabellstar Vengeance now is.
Yeah, and the most important thing about the Bellstar
Go
Vengeance
hollowed.
is he's a fiend, not a spellcaster, so that Secturion is not going to be as effective here.
We know
especially
the
with
2
the
back row were
hollowed
set this
Azamina.
turn as well.
We're probably going to be working our way into an illusion monster as well. So starting to play around the Secturion Dragon, not as effective as once feared. It really is going to come down to what final hand interactions that Gabriel has here to kind of stifle.
We can
the
actually
field
send
of
the
Rosalie.
Bellstar Vengeance as a simple
wanted to
spoils and
prevent,
make
Rosalie from getting access to these allowed
make
Azamina, but
a
it is
Moa?
still on the field, and it will resolve very, very good here for Rosalie, of course, because we are going
because
to
not many
get access to
people
the
play
extra
against
deck.
White Forest. I see people playing Draco Tail. I mean, a lot of people don't play White Forest or don't know how the deck actually like works and like how much it actually grinds. They just see it go. They just see it combo slopping.
We can just
going
protect
first
ourselves with the Ilya Sylvia.
Send
this shows the
one.
versatility of White Forest as well as
Make
we've
Illa
previously seen
Sylvia.
that Gabriel spent so many resources to stop access to the Synchro Summon, and then all of a sudden we're now going to be starting to Fusion Summon, and one very, very big point we can go for, depending on where
We're
Rosalie
debating
wants to go
Illa
for, is we can
Sylvia
go down the
or,
wanted route with the Muru Siliago, or we can go
Muru
straight for
Siliago
a
to
bit
add
of
a
protection
wanted.
route with the Sylvie Azamina.
So what is it going to be? We are going
Murcielago, okay.
and I think that is the route we have to take here, because just going Ilya Sylvia probably is not going to win you the game, as there is just
Add
not
wanted.
much more in the hand. We know there is the Sylvie in the hand, which was previously put back into that hand by
Tribute,
Gabriel.
no
so we
Bellstar
need
effect
more
because of the
gas, and there also
Secretarion.
now is the last card in hand being revealed. That is the Bellstar, the Black Witch.
But now we do have a hollowed in the grave for
we are going to get access to the allowed Azamina as
or we do have a
well,
Azamina in the grave
again,
for
by
hollowed.
returning the fusion monster to the extra deck, and we are going to get access to Ilya Sylvia.
And now we can
anyway
pop and
probably the
put
next,
a tuner
the
synchro
next
on the
step
field.
of the combo.
Yeah, I think this could possibly be the final check from Rosalie for any more interactions that Gabriel has, because as soon as that Sylvie enters the field of play, that then starts to check with the Fire Maynard and then any other hand interactions that Gabriel may have. So we're starting to kind of not wall up ourselves, but covering ourselves from all of these different options. And we still have the effect of the Bellstar Vengeance to either come back from the graveyard should it leave the field of play, but also has a very nice effect to target a card your opponent controls and destroy it. So it does have that ability to trade off with one of the cards on the field should we want to start activating any other
saying get
spellcaster
dropped.
effects.
All right, now we go
Seems
effective
like that
pop.
is now
Pop back
going
row.
out of a known last trap card that there is. Or we did activate all the trap cards, right?
All trap cards have been activated, so that I believe was a reset.
Yeah.
Krakatoa Flame.
Okay, so it is okay. It is a trap card, but it's not one that we can activate anymore.
Correct.
But I mean, this is the situation you also want to have the Hollowed Azamina in, because we have Hollowed Azamina in hand with the wanted to it, and usually the best interaction you have is just activate the Hollowed Azamina, chain the wanted to just immediately send it to the graveyard, but resolve both cards. So Rosalie absolutely not done with it here just yet. But
We're doing it
mention
first. We're doing Vengeance effect first because it gives us a better option to go hollowed, send the Vengeance, and summon out a Saint or a Saint or a Moa Regina.
the amount of time left in this
And
match,
if we
it is
go
getting a
Saint or if we go
little
Moa Regina send
low
two,
there. Okay, we are able to clear off
then
that
we
trap
can
card. That's good.
go
Are we special
Vengeance
summon
effect
from
to
the
special
extra deck as
summon
well?
and then pop two.
That's actually
And then we
good,
cleared
but,
their board.
I wonder if Rosalie can do a whole lot more, to be honest, because Gabriel still has a lot of resources, a lot of cards in hand, and also some follow-up during the next turn. So it's not going to be that easy and as easy as the previous game for Rosalie to just end the game and get the victory.
So we are in a very good
Yeah,
position
completely
here.
agree Obviously, looking at different synchro options from the extra deck, we decided to go for the Rusilia. This one is going to try and push a little bit more advantage, but it does give that benefit of also being a tuner itself. So it opens up the door to the synchro plays again, and we're going to be going for that Hallowed Azamina.
Do we have a trap in the grave? I don't think we have a trap in the grave.
Are we chaining the wanted? Surely we are, right? That is how you usually do
Oh,
it.
there's an Nibiru in hand.
we
Oh,
make
never
a
mind. We are not good. We are not good. Red alert, red
That
alert,
is
red alert.
interesting.
Wee woo, wee woo.
We have to use it here because we are too afraid of Ilya
Oh, I
Sylvia
did not
coming
know there was a
next, and
Nibiru in hand. That's brutal.
ironically enough, Gabriel, for that moment, tributing more monsters on his own side than on Rosalie's side, but we have to use it here, and still,
I knew I
after
saw
that
the-
resolves,
Right.
Ilya Sylvia,
And
yes, Ilya Sylvia hits the field.
Well, we
Sylvia,
have a
Sylvia,
negate.
but, to be honest,
They have a
Gabriel
billion
is still
cards in
a pretty good
hands.
situation because, of course, if you want to synchro summon on the side of Rosalie, you will have to just send two monsters.
We don't
to
have
the
a
graveyard
trap in
and you
hand,
will then
unfortunately.
Be able to activate the effect of Gabriel's monster. the Gulamel and the Arcelion to get them back on the field. So this is still a pretty good situation, even if we just get rid of our own
recognize
field.
that
And
rock
remember,
mini
we
angle.
still have some follow-up on the next turn.
And one thing that's interesting here, we did not chain the Wanted. I think we just discarded the Wanted from the hand, so maybe Rosalie was caught off
I mean, there's
guard
no
by the
other
Nibiru being
targets.
activated from Gabriel and then just forgot about her own Wanted to be chained, or there was no intention of activating that in the first place. But we are activating the Graveyard effect of Wanted now, trying to draw for another card.
Yeah, exactly.
You only
And,
run one
as
DBL Star
previously
Vengeance,
mentioned,
one
you start to look at the clock
DBL
and
Star
whoever
Black
minutes
Mage,
on
so there's
time.
no other
At what
targets
point in
to
this
search
Salvador
with.
do you start to consider
Or chaining for.
maybe conceding and going to into game 3, or do you stick with it feeling that you can take the
No.
win in this game 2 right here?
Destiny draw.
Here it comes, Wanted.
Put the.
You will at least try to get that
Put the betrayal
Destiny
back.
draw here, one card off the top. What could it be? Maybe the field spell or something like that. That could help.
Oh, it's a
But
black
no,
goat.
it doesn't.
Oh.
Rosalie wisely takes her cards and says we are heading into
Yeah.
a third game 10.
We would have had a
Minutes
pop
only
and a
remain.
negate, but I don't think. Oh God.
Hello guys, welcome
No!
back to the channel.
Ah! No!
I got
The
played
evil.
first place.
There we go. Where's part 2? What happened?
To try
Is
to
it- There it is. Part 2.
are
Yeah, the Diabels. Yo, what's going on, Kiryu? Give me anything. So yeah, we would have ended on Illa Sylvia Omni Negate plus a pop from Diabel Star Vengeance, but we wouldn't have had the special summon effect available, which would have been like, if we had a spell or trap in the grave to special summon the Vengeance back, or have access to another Diabel, it would have been a lot better. But yeah, that's why we just scoop it up and go to time.
indeed ready. Gabriel,
Because we can absolutely
against
win going
Rosalie. It's going to be
first.
such a great game.
As long as we don't
between
get
two
drolled.
players that are used to such pressure, and I mean, it makes sense because there are both X2, and as you just said,
Wait, was
one
this? Oh,
of
wait.
them will not be able to qualify for the top 8. Gabriel
Hold on.
won
That
the
was- Where's part 2? That was part 1. Hold on. Oh, we got skimazed. We got skimazed. Hold on. Where is? That's Yugioh replays.
I mean, the crazy thing is,
We got
Rosalie knows
skimazed. Where's
every
part
card in
2?
hand. Gabriel, it was a nice move by him to use all of those monsters from
Hold
the hand.
on. Hold on. Hold on. Videos. YCS Bologna round 10. There we go. Part 2. Found it.
And the two players are indeed ready for this very crucial game 3. So when we left, there was like 10 minutes on the clock, and I'm very curious to see if there was.
All right, we're about to
many,
see how fast can we
any
White
time
Force
extension.
combo. Let's
to
go.
be honest, that would be interesting to know that. But for now, we are going to see for the first time the White Forest
First,
strategy.
we check if
going
they have droll.
first, and we know that the White Forest strategy going first, it's absolutely
Activate Wanted.
incredible.
Draw phase,
You
I
have so
assume?
many ways to go into your combos and to try to play around some interactions, but on the other hand, the Dracotel strategy, being able to play during the opponent's turn thanks to the 5 mana to just mess with the bodies on the field.
The Bellstar Sim Black Goat, okay, okay.
The
Pog,
Black
Pog,
Goat
no.
loss, which was so crucial during the first game, and here in the graveyard.
Let's
I mean,
go.
it will help Rosalie
The
play
best
around
Sin.
the Arcelion, which is so good.
Now,
Deception.
the deception of the Sinful Spores is being activated. We seemingly having no
Are we
response
doing
from Gabriel's side so
Trozolon?
far.
Yo,
Oh,
what's going
maybe
on?
he is
Toxic
considering
Games.
it
Give me
right
anything, give me
now.
anything. What
Yeah,
can?
there is something. Okay,
Oh,
what
we're
is
chaining.
it? Is it the Fuvalos? Is it a 5 mana? What can we do here? It needs to be impactful, that's for sure. It is
The 5 mana,
Dracotel,
alright.
5 mana.
So worst
What
case
are we
scenario.
going into here? Are we summoning a Gulamel on the opponent's turn? Do we just go ahead and summon a Thalion? Is Roly chaining that Black Gold Lofts here?
We just
He's
Black Goat
not.
call a
Okay.
Thalion
Yeah,
here?
and I think that's very clever, like in the first game, because yeah, of course, Gabriel can just summon the other monsters that wasn't called by the Black Goat Loaf. You still have the ability to go into the Gulamel.
No, he's thinking about
and get
Secretarion.
rid of
Secretarion
the
is not
continuous
the
spell,
play.
which would be, of course, very
Not with
good.
this
So
line, 'cause
instead,
we
you keep
literally
it for
out
the next turn,
Secretarion
and we know
easily.
that you have to go into Arcelion on your own turn to try to get those resources back. So Rosalie recognize that and just stays still.
Exact same decision. Oh, we can just summon Secretarion here on.
If you make
on turn
Secretarion,
0
it's
as
over.
well.
All right,
I mean,
GG's, we win.
We saw that Rosalie has
We
plenty
win
of
here.
tools to play around, and in the last duel, still, it is denying some of these spellcaster effects that Rosalie's deck is definitely including. setting Draco Tail Sting here,
Cannot
getting
find
multiple
Twitch.
trap
Oh,
cards set up.
weird.
There also is K2 Draco Tail. 6 minutes remaining.
6,
it doesn't get much more
7.
pressures than this.
All right.
Yeah, this is very interesting. We are going to get rid of course, the Diable Stars thanks to the pen, and we get some resources. Very interesting choice to go into the trap card here and not the Rahu, which means that you want to interact with the opponent's resources and probably
whatever,
also
they're
get
resolving
another
this. They're
card in your
popping
hand
the Diabell
and
Star,
draw
but
one.
I don't
So,
know.
yeah,
I
very
assume it can
interesting
only
here
pop
from
monsters,
the
so I don't
side
know
of
why you
Gabriel.
wouldn't pop
What
Deception
is
here.
Roselli gonna do next?
But I think Gabriel did exactly what
Deception
I was
tribute
suggesting.
as
Just did something that is
Azamina,
impactful
because
and
it
quick.
locks
We have
the-
a quick game 3 here. We have to play it out quickly, and he just found a solution with Secretarian to shut down some of the plays from Rosalie and also immediately
We'll get
take
the
some
Elsa
monsters
Azamina
off
back
of her
anyways
field with the
by
first
shuffling it
move
back
that he
with
did.
Hollowed.
So I feel like he has taken
All
a
right,
good
speedrun this
direction,
combo.
but
Let's go. We have full
Rosalie
combo.
keeps on going. Hollowed Azamina into
Murcielago
by sending the Deception. So we will keep on going.
And that's literally full combo. So, I mean, Gabriel, I think he would like to have some interaction to try
Get
to
Vengeance.
prevent Rosalie to go into full combo.
Followed.
But yeah, as you just mentioned, we are going
Shuffle
to
back.
go below the bar of the 5 minutes. And that is very scary because we don't want to lose this game for both duelists.
We know his sets too, so we know he has Ketu or Rahu set.
And
so we just pop that with the Vengeance?
Absolutely dramatic.
Yes, we are using Wanted in the graveyard, putting the Deception back underneath the deck. That's why we shuffled.
Buff
and now we drew another
Exodia.
card. What's
Didn't
next
y'all
up on the
just
menu?
get support?
Hallelujah,
You're
of course,
asking
came
for
back into the
more?
hand. We put the Vengeance into the graveyard because obviously it can come back later. And that is the
Megan
second
Ayla
Azamina
Sylvia.
monster now on the field. There is
Foolish.
Foolish Burial Goods as well. Is this just going to be for more
Foolish
engine?
Curse.
It is.
Curse add
of
Philia.
Diabell
Philia
is
add,
being searched, so we want the Philia
Diabell's.
Diabell, and that is going to result
Diabell's
in
dump
even
Symbol
another
Spell's
level
Betrayal.
8 monster here. And as the opponent, as Gabriel has a monster on the field, we could possibly even special summon it out.
True.
Diabells to the hand. Yeah, in the hand, special
Scourge!
summons it
Yeah,
out
let's
by
go!
putting that, setting it back.
Send
Rosalie is
Scourge,
going
set
full
Scourge,
speed now.
let's go.
It's not much time anymore, so we are
And
rushing
hey,
this
guess
combo, and
what?
that's how
Guess what? They have a monster on the field to
have to do.
pop.
I was
with this
wondering
Diabell Star
how quick he can
Vengeance.
even perform
Yeah, this game's
combo.
over, dog.
Rosalie
This
is
game-
teaching
God,
us
Diabell
now
Star
by
Vengeance is
going
so good.
full speed here.
Banish spell and
Yeah,
trap.
absolutely, and that's the
Pop
good
your
point because yeah, Rosalie
pop your
knows
Ketu,
her deck perfectly.
pop your
She knows
follow-up,
it by heart, and
Make
we
a
can see that
Rusilia.
because the
Now we go
combo
full
is
White
going
Forest
so
combo.
quick.
Oh well,
And
Secretarion. We can't. We should. Bit of a misplay. Secretarion can't do the effect of
We had so many monsters
Rusilia. Going a
on
little
the
too
field where-
fast. Could have popped Secretarion here and still done it and then gone full White Forest combo, especially because we have Scourge set. We could negate like Ketu, or we have multiple negates.
still protected thanks to the Ilia Sylvia, and I think it's going to be very hard for Gabriel on the following turn, to be honest, because remember there is still the Black God Love, which is sitting in the graveyard waiting
I mean,
to be
regardless,
activated
it still
on his turn.
works.
Little hiccup there, though. We wanted to activate the effect of Arcelia, but then Gabriel reminded, hey, that
Make
actually
SP Little
is
Knight
just
banish,
a spellcaster,
okay.
which you cannot use because of Secretarion. Secretarion now gone, though, through the effect of SP Little Knight and the pass. 3 minutes remaining. Can Gabriel get through
All right,
this?
little minor hiccup. That's probably just being stressed at time.
Or was that enough from Rosalie's side?
I mean, Yugioh did some very, very powerful cards, and we see that he drew a card that he
drew
probably have
Droll.
liked during
Alright, we go
the
Sting.
previous turn. But yeah, it's going to be
Sting,
very, very
target
hard because there are a lot of
wanted.
interactions. But watch Gabriel, he's very, very steady.
Target
He's
hallowed.
Like
Oh no,
thinking carefully
hallowed
about
and okay, yeah, no. This is
what is gonna be
Rusilia.
the
We could
next
just
move
literally
and
special
how
summon
he
from
can just break
banishment.
this
It's
field,
crazy.
which is indeed
Does he
pretty
know?
good, to be
Does he
honest.
know, chat?
Okay,
Does he know?
we do resolve the effect of Draco Tail Sting, banishing
Has
those
he read
two cards,
Diabell,
getting another
Queen of the
draw.
White
Gabriel is
Forest?
fishing for cards that may be his winning cards, but can he do it in only 2.5 minutes? This is really down to the wire in the first match of the day immediately. That's already a good direction to go for the day, I feel like. That is setting the tone here for day 2 at YCS Bologna. Normal summons Bamululu now.
So we get access to the fusion summon, but of course, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see if
Diablo Star
React
Vengeance
will
effect on
decide to
Malulu,
use
pop,
the
pay
effect
half,
to try
down
to
to
destroy
2k,
Malulu, which is
make
going
a
to be the case,
Silvera,
and we are going to bring
no summon effect.
Silvera this time that
Yeah.
we summon out here. Interesting.
Absolutely.
Normally it was Poplar, but here it shall be Silvera instead. Gabriel struggles, not many cards.
Grand Infusion, and we just go Scourge, send the Silvera, negate. God, Scourge is just such a fun card. I love Scourge so much.
Clinches it out and is a round 10 feature match winner in what fashion? With the
we were
God
so
Feeder
far
over
ahead
That
there.
was
It's
sick.
crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. The White Forest strategy taking the game right here, and it was very impressive.
Oh,
With
I mean,
the
I
God
honestly
and
cannot, knowing what cards are in their hand, I cannot find like anything I would change differently, like any lines I would do differently, especially in that game one. That game one was played perfectly through what we had to start with Sylvie. Almost forgot most of the story already, but Diablo Star and Diabelle's are sisters, right? They're not like actual blood related sisters, but they are like they are like all a part. They were like childhood, all a part of the same like witch coven in White Forest. Yeah, they're besties. They're just a couple of besties. basically sisters. But yeah, I mean, yeah, there's nothing really you could change with that line. I mean, we just have infinite follow-up anyways, even if they were set to go here. We still have the Illa Sylvia to tribute to negate as well if they activate anything in hand. Queen Diabella is the master. Yes, Queen Diabella is like the leader of the witch coven. Hell yeah. All right, I want to look at the list. I want to look at the list now. Give me 1 second. I want to see what they're rocking. Because I actually got to play this list. I want to talk about this list a little bit. I played it while at locals this past weekend. So I was honestly surprised that they were talking about it being a clean 40 card deck. Because that's probably the biggest struggle with White Forest right now is there's so many good cards, so many consistency cards, and it's really hard to cut down to like 40 exactly and still have like enough to interact with your opponent. But we'll get the obvious cards out of the way. The triple LZ, triple Sylvie, Elza, Azamina, and Estelar. Rusia is honestly a bit of a crutch. Like, Rusia is good. Don't get me wrong. Playing a lot more with his deck in Master Duel and with access to the new support and everything. In some cases, Rusia is great to have in your deck. Like if you have to start a Stellar and you get interrupted or something like that happens. But even without that, it's very like fringe cases that you need the Rusia, because even if they interrupt the Stellar, if we have access to like Tails or Witch, we can go no Rusia, smell a heretic. Listen, I was a Rusia enjoyer. The problem is Rusia bricks more hands than it fixes. Because if you open just Rusia and a bunch of spells in your hand, spells and traps in your hand, it might as well be a fifth spell or trap in your hand. Like it does not get you to full combo by herself unless you get lucky and draw into something. But like say, and you never want to add it either. It's upstart though. It's upstart until your opponent sees you normal summoned Rusia and they're like, okay, I'm just gonna Asher Rusia. Like and like it's only really good if you opened like already opened Tails or something. Like it's not bad, don't get me wrong. Then I Tails GG. Yeah, it's not terrible. If you were looking for cards to cut for consistency, you could play it as a 41st card, but right now I'm playing Azamina Debtors as a 41st card because I'd rather not get locked out by the field spell completely. I'd rather still have access to my Azamina line during my opponent's turn. So, all right. The 3 Sylvie we talked about, 1 Diabell's, 1 Diabell Star, 1 Diabell Star Black Witch. This is all normal. 3 Full Willows. This is the best hand trap to play right now in the game. Yeah, no Ash in the main board. It looks like in spot of Ash, they're playing double Dark Ruler no more and a evenly matched. So this was my biggest complaint, and I understand it somewhat. This build of White Forest is a very heavy meta call, where if you are going to like a YCS and you're expecting to play like a ton of Draco Tail or K9 or Yummy, stuff like that, or where one Ash, it basically is for like K9 and Yummy more specifically. Ash doesn't really do anything. Ash is one of the weakest hand traps right now. It's good against Draco Tail. It's good against Draco Tail hitting like their Ketu or their Rahu, but you can just side in for that. And if we scroll down, it looks like they sided their Ashes in. I took this to locals Saturday and tried this out, and after testing, specifically if you're playing like a lower like level format, like if you're playing like locals or even regionals, I wouldn't go with this build. I would change the numbers up a little bit. Because you want some interaction for if you're not drawing into Dark Ruler or evenly matched. Like whether it's Ash in the main, or I would put, like, I was even contemplating putting Perulias in the main. It's a Giga meta call. Because if you're going with like like if you draw enough engine off of Fuwalos or Perulia, then you're playing through an entire board. You're playing through a board easily. What was I gonna say? 2 thrusts in the main will search you out, like your combo pieces can search you out your tails, can search you out a Black Goat, can search you out a Hollowed Azamina, as we saw there. Search out your Philia Diabell. Or search out your Dark Ruler no more if you're playing that. Ash is almost a must for combo decks in Master Duel because of the Roach. Yeah, if you're playing Master Duel, you're playing Ash, Maxi, Mole Charming Fuwalos, and Droll for Crossout. There's no Crossout on this list. Crossout's really bad for White Forest, because if we're playing Crossout in the main deck, then we have to play like one of every hand trap. We have to play one of Droll in the main deck. We have to play one of Ash in the main deck, or however many Ashes in the main deck. We had to play Imperm in the main deck, stuff like that, to have like cross out targets for. Some people even go as far as putting Nib in the main deck. And those are just more bricks in the deck to keep you from comboing. As long as we combo, we win the game going first. And then going second, you just want to have as much engine as humanly possible to play through established boards. But yeah, this is a meta call to beat the mid-range decks like Draco Tail. This because this White Forest has enough. If you open a hand of 5 engine cards, White Forest breaks through Draco Tail boards pretty consistently. Like we almost broke, like if it wasn't for the Nib in hand of that game that we saw, that board was broken. Like we were winning that game if it wasn't for the Nib as the last card in hand. But they always have Nib because they're Draco Tail. Triple field spell. I've seen people cut the field spell down to 2. I think the field spell is a great 1-card starter. But if you are like afraid of locking yourself out, the field spell could go down for like I don't know what you put, honestly. For like I guess if you're going for like more of hand traps or more interaction, but like cutting starters is always bad. Affiliate email. This is all normal stuff. The thrusts we talked about, talents we talked about in the main deck. Talents is just very good in this format, regardless. We already talked about the double dark ruler. The good thing about White Forest is that they can you can main deck these board breaker cards like Dark Ruler No More, like Evenly Matched. And this is very reminiscent of the guy that played White Forest at Worlds, where he was just on like Book of Eclipses and Dark Ruler No Mores. Because if we're going first with these cards and they're in our opening hand, we can just send them for cost for like LZ or a Stellar or Diabells and stuff like that as well. Oh, I had a duel versus a going second deck, and after his Raigeki literally did nothing because of Diabells, he surrendered. Yeah, no, people do not read Diabells the White Witch. I had multiple people activate like Lightning Storm against me, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Did not call back row, huh? Purposely put everything in attack so they try and Lightning Storm my board. Triple Black Goat, I think... like, you can't play this in Master Duel, obviously. But Black Goat is like the best card for White Forest right now. Playing three at least two, but 3 is feels great right now. The only thing I'm like, I don't know. I think the 2 Dark Ruler, the 1 Evenly, is just flex depending on like how you want to play. But also like only having 6 hand traps or 6 forms of interaction. Like I think there's another build as well. There was another build that just topped a regional like a week ago. Yeah. Same weekend. But it's 43 cards that plays more hand traps. It plays Triple Ash, Droll, and Nibiru. I don't think you need to play Nibiru because we just don't care about Nibiru. We make boards through Nibiru. But you have to find, like, to play a list like this, you have to find cuts. And they're also playing Russia as well. So you could actually cut this down to 41 by just cutting an LZ and a Russia. And you'd still have 1 Droll, 1 Nib, 2 Droplet. I think how this is going to go in the future is we're probably cutting... probably changing Dark Ruler for droplets if Brenda becomes a thing. And double field spell, 1 Foolish Burial Goods, 1 Black Goat. I think you'd... I was actually... God, this is actually so fucking close to one of my first decks, is my regional deck. Is I was playing 2 Imperm, 1 Black Goat, 1 Foolish as a second Black Goat, basically. I just wasn't on droplets and I was on Molcharmies in main deck. Is the Big Boss Azamina just a filler? It has its purposes right now, because especially in the EU, a lot of people play Luna Lights in the EU. So having a way to get over tower monsters in the against like Luna Lights is great. I assume also it's a 4K beater that like the one downside of the Azamina stuff is if you make Saint, it's hard to finish the game, I guess, kind of. Like if they out your board, like if they get rid of your monsters in the odd case that and leave your Saint because your Saint just has 0 attack, it's kind of hard to out Azamine, kind of hard to finish with a 0 attacker. So I assume that's the reason why Azamina is here, outside of like being a way to out towers, is to just end games as well, because it's a 4K beater on turn 3. The only thing I would change around this, I mean, the Dark Rulers and the Evenly is a personal preference. I think honestly you can get away with putting Debtors in the main deck. I really like Debtors. I am a Debtors truther. Debtors is such a good card, especially if you're running 3 field spell. That it's worth putting the one of, especially lets you go into Illa Sylvia as your first action, so that you can do everything under an Omni and play around Droll. Lets you not lock yourself out of your Azamina stuff during your opponent's turn, because you can just go Deception, set Debtors for next turn. But I mean, outside that, I mean, Too Foolish. It's very heavy into the Black Goat Laugh stuff. I mean, but granted, if you're not playing like Ash Blossoms and stuff, then you have to be able to consistently hit your Black Goat Laughs over and over again, because that's like your only like starting board breaker. So we have the Ashes in the sideboard. It looks like we have Perulias in the sideboard and Meows in the sideboard. I mean, the Perulias and Meows are basically just if we draw into engine. Like, the goal is to either draw into enough engine to out their board completely, or like draw into Dark Ruler, draw into Evenly, stuff like that, or make them make a half board or like partial board, afraid of the Mulcharm. It's afraid of you drawing into stuff, to where we just out it easily with our White Force stuff. Because if they give us like 2 draws and stop off like 2 forms of interaction, then we break that board every time. And if we draw into Dark Ruler no more evenly, then we outside of like maybe outside of Draco Tail, where we have to like bait their traps, their negate trap, then we just win there. Just got some parts of the White Force on the way. You inspired me to learn deck. Hell yeah, I love to hear that, dude. Nice. I hope you are watching the videos. And we have a Discord as well with a few White Forest players and stuff, that if you have any questions, if you want to learn anything else, we'll see any new tech that's come up. Because I know there's been some OCG White Forest Elven notes and lists and stuff. Feel free to ask me any questions in the Discord. But awesome. Now, this deck is super cool. This deck is super sweet, and there's so many ways that you can build it. So many different styles that you can build it. And it's one of those decks that, because it revolves around just good spells and traps, it can always be viable. It can always be meta viable, even in a meta where everyone's like playing Droll to out it. Like, if you're fine, it's kind of like playing Malice. If you're fine, sometimes they just have the Lancia, they just open the Lancia and you don't get to play the game. If you're fine with that result, then like you could play White Forest. If you're fine with them having Droll, opening Droll, then and just having a non-game, then it's okay. Yeah, a lot of power spells. Give me back Baron de Fleur, please. Please, I know I'm begging, but I need it. We saw the Doom Dragon. Lina is interesting, and they are also on Herald. That's cool. Lina is very interesting. I want to know, hopefully they talk about it in their deck list. Again, we're watching this all before we see their deck list. I want to know how many times they made this, because there's some cute lines for a little bit, especially into Yummy, when Yummy was very popular, where you could go like last minute, last resort, make Lina, beat into something, add Nibiru, and then Nibiru their board in main phase 2. But I assume like you're doing that, but just adding like a White Force name. You're adding an LZ, or what does it add? Just any 1500 defense or less. So yeah, just adding any one of your starters somehow. Also, any budget version for Master Duel you'd recommend? I'd have to open up Master Duel and like define budget in Master Duel. Because unfortunately, like a lot of the good cards, like a lot of your engine stuff are URs and SRs. And it's hard to get around those. So I want to know, toys is kind of budget. I mean, but Toy Box is a UR though, and you need 3 of them. That's the problem. If we're talking TCG, then yeah, toys is a great way to build the deck. But I mean, the deck is cheap in the TCG as well. Oh gosh. So yeah, my only question for when we watch their deck list next is how many times they made Lina. Different dimension ground is a great thrust target for going first, since we can't do dimensional barrier anymore. That's just like a way to slow decks down. Third thrust, Dark Ruler no more, third Dark Ruler no more, Scourge I love in the main deck, or Scourge I love coming out of the side, and Anti-Spell Fragrance I love coming out of the side. I've been on these two cards as well. And yeah, I also want to know about the Ash. That's probably the only two questions I have. Is just like, oh, Ash over Dark Rulers and Evenlies. I mean, granted, if in combo decks now, you're a Malice enjoyer. Hey, if you like Malice, you could still play Malice. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. This is our little secret, chat. And if you fucking tell anyone, if you tell anyone our secret today, I will find you. But Malice is still playable. You could still make full Malice board without Red Ransom. As long as White Binder still lives and breathes, Malice is still playable. You just replace Red Ransom with Transcode Docker, and you still get the same exact board, same exact lines. It's crazy. It's wild. It's nuts. It's definitely a lot worse. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's definitely a like not tier 1 deck anymore, but it is still just as strong. I would have to see what you already have, David, as well, to see, like, to recommend stuff. But if you, I mean, like, if you don't want to craft like a whole lot of engine and you just want, and you already have staples and stuff, like, you can do like, just make it hard go second. White Forest with Dark Rulers, Evenlies, Goats, stuff like that. Can't even search the field spell anymore. Everything except Dark Ruler, Black Goat are mandatory, I'd say. Yeah, I'll pull up Master Duel here after we watch their deck list, because I want to get their thoughts. I want to get their thoughts on the deck list. I really just want to know about the Ashes. I mean, like I said, Ash coming out of the side makes sense, because like it's only really good right now against specifically Draco Tail, but it also just like hedges against like everything like other decks. But I don't know, we'll see.
My deck profile from YCS Bologna.
Oh, they are very quiet.
The deck profile,
she is very quiet.
Please check out the description and you'll find a timestamp of where the profile actually starts. So I'm just gonna start off by, like, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone that showed up at Bologna and like came up to talk to me, to have a card signed, ask for the White Forest list, like really anything. It was super cool to get to meet up you guys, and it was kind of an eye-opener for me for how many fans I actually have, like how many people know about me and want to talk to me and find me
Be nice, she's getting into content creation. I'm pretty sure she just made this channel after this YCS.
So that was super cool, and like it was a big motivator for me, because I've always kind of had the like idea in the back of my head that I wanted to try making Yu-Gi-Oh content, though I'm not really a big techie. I don't know how to do any sort of editing. My PC is from 2016. Like,
see, be nice. Their PC is 10 years old. Be nice.
A lot of people that came up and talked to me. I just thought that
think they'll upload
it
more.
had to be possible, so I want to try. I have some different ideas for content, mainly like related to playing the game.
No skippers. No skippers. We're watching this. We're supporting.
First iteration. I know there's not a lot of people that do like competitive DB content, like viewing over their games, explaining things they could have done better, generally just playing the game. Like TCG,
trying to find a good sound balance though. Hold on.
Interesting to watch.
Tell me if it's too loud or too
quiet.
Try
if I can figure out something with that. Of course, I'm going to be playing the Master BC Cups, so I figured I might as well try streaming them. So that's what I have like as a clear-cut starting idea. Though if you have anything you want to try to, like, you would like to see me do, like, I don't know, let's play a specific deck, a specific kind of discussion, maybe a non-Yu-Gi-Oh themed game, like really anything, then write it in the description and I'll take a look at it and probably try to do it, unless it's really tech intensive. That's kind of it, honestly. Just, yeah, welcome to my channel, hope you like it here. And let's move on to the profile.
Oh, so, snap cut! Let's go!
A lot of you already know, I played as Amino White Forest versus Bologna. I went 11-4 in Swiss and got 52nd place. Though I don't think this is representative of how good the deck actually is.
11-4.
Because throughout the 15
so
rounds
they lost
of Swiss,
2 more rounds after
3 games that I was actually supposed to lose. The remaining of the games were lost by my mistakes and not by the deck. But moving on to the actual deck, I'm going to start up with the main deck. I played 40 cards. I think you should always play 40 cards, or at least as close to 40 as the format allows you. Simply because LZ is by far the best card in the deck. So for the White Forest monsters, 3 LZ, for obvious reasons. 3 Sylvie, as she is the best normal summon in the deck. 1 is Amino LZ, as you really don't need more, even though it's a really good extender.
I mean, the White Forest engine itself,
Stellar,
like,
it's a good card to have access to.
is pretty self-explainable at this point.
Though it is, in my opinion, the most cuttable card in the deck at the moment.
Like, once we get out of a format, we're always 41 for good luck. Yeah, the 41st card is always called by our Triple Tactics talent.
Or the third copy of Foolish Burial Goods is up for debate. I found that the terraforming is terrible into Droll, and if you open Field Spell plus Extender, you can most of the time Field
So
Spell
number one thing, especially with Droll being so prevalent and losing to Droll so easily, you can't play 60 cards in this. You're more likely to draw just like a hand of just all blanks. Like, I think I saw a list that had like, was playing 60 cards and was playing like triple Prohibition, triple Forbidden Droplet, triple Sales Ban, just to try and get around like Drolls. And they like opened like Sales Ban, Prohibition, Droplet, and like no starters to start to play the deck. Or like their one starter was a Stellar, which like if you're a Stellar, just gets Astra impermed and you don't have follow up, like you're dead regardless. So I think you need to just play as low or as close to 40 as possible. I would not go above 43 or 45. Isn't Salesman a UR? Yeah, Salesman's a UR in Master Duel. I don't even think it's worth it playing in a Master Duel. I think you just like it's a UR. I think you just like eat, like you just eat it sometimes. Like, oh, if you get drolled, you just get drolled, which is pretty much like, which is pretty much the same way in TCG right now. Like if you're playing White Forest, you're expecting to get drolled like a good portion of the time. You have sometimes your opening hands still out it and still make a good board even through droll, which is why you want to play consistently. But yeah, what was it? I was gonna say something else. My mind went like I'm getting tired. With droll at 2, you just take the L. Yeah, especially Master Duel with droll at 2, you just take the L. We also have cross out. We have cross out and called by for droll, which is fine. That's 42 cards in a, or that's 2 cards in a 40 card list. The 2 and 20, the 1 and 10 that you open one of them. In TCG, I could, especially since we're not playing any other hand traps, I could see her list adding Salesman in the side. Like, especially because Meows is like so. Or even maining Salesman. Like, if we're like preparing for hard go first, if we're winning die rolls, then you can put Salesman in for the double Dark Ruler and evenly. But
which to play around,
like sometimes you just gotta take the L. Because I mean, you're not all, they're not always gonna open droll, and you're not always gonna open sales. So
for the remaining spell traps,
I played this list at locals a Saturday, and I opened Salesman 1 game out of all of them, and it didn't matter because I was going second.
played one Tails. This card is a good extender, it's good for the combo, but due to the activation requirements, you don't really want to hard draw it too often. One simple supposed to forest. This card helps bridge the engines, and it helps play around Dominus cards and Azamina LZs. And one Woes, this card helps you play around roll game 1.
Yeah, we had to play Woes now because Droll. That's just my luck, yeah. It is my horrible luck. That's why I don't play Fiendsmith, chat. It's because I will always open Luri, I will always open
I played one Lacrima, 3 Wanteds, 1 Deception, 1 Hallowed.
Alright, this is all normal stuff still. Alright, so I love more people are playing Silvera. This is a certified Neko special. Silvera's so fucking good. What's going on, Lee? Welcome back. How was your food? Silvera is a certified Neko special. Everyone was on fucking Morian because Morian is interaction. Morian you can activate from grave, trigger your Moa Regina to pop cards and book them. But Silvera protects your board so much and protects your combo so much right now. It's so fucking good. Also, no one reads Silvera, and they always chain to your, like, you'll go Diabellstar, send Silvera, and they'll like try and Veiler or Imperm your Diabellstar. You just banish your Silvera, negate either of those. Now they're down a card in hand, and you're still going full Azamina combo. Do you want to play Master Duel? I'll turn off the stream so I won't cheat. Not right now, but maybe later. We'll see. We'll see how tired I am after all this. We'll do some viewer duels sometime this week. So yeah, protect your combo, and then you can always just add it back. Like even if you activated it during your turn and banished to activate it, you can just go banish wanted, shuffle the Silvera back, or put it on the bottom of your deck to draw a card, and then you can add the Silvera later back in your combo with Azamina Illusilvia, or sorry, Azamina Muraciliago, Illusilvia if it dies, or if it gets destroyed by card effect or battle, and or off of your Azamina LZ. So it is a loopable negate. It also protects your boards. You end on it a lot of times with Diabellstar on the board, and it protects your boards from Dark Ruler Nemours, from unresponsible cards like Evenly, or not Evenly, yeah, Evenly, from Book of Eclipse. It's really great as like a backup target and negate.
This is kind of the golden ratio.
Made it to plat in a few days from rookie. It didn't look like a season in before. No master for me, unfortunately. I was supposed to stream Sunday. We were supposed to hit Master Sunday, but I slept all day Sunday.
Still almost as good as the guy artifact of Morian, so I never missed it, and I would absolutely not have played Morian over this card. Only one Witch, because I don't like choosing 2 cards for one play. In this deck, the body you get from summoning Witch itself doesn't actually do anything. Then the 4 cards that make up the Diabell engine. These are the best 4 cards in the deck by far, in my opinion. I would never play the deck without them. Vengeance is the heart and soul of the deck. She carries you from start to finish. This card
like no matter how much your opponent interacts with you, as long as you are ending on these 2 cards, like even in cases of where you're afraid going first, afraid of Droll, like you want to go like LZ add Diabells. Because as long as we get to these 2 cards, even after getting drolled, then we can play on our opponent's turn. We have effects on our opponent's turn. Simple
spoil, and White Witch being a White Forest monster. These cards just do so much, though I would not play multiple copies.
Especially if you open like LZ send Tails, you add Diabells off of your LZ, and then if they don't droll you there, then you can go Tails to add your Sylvie.
None of them, especially Vengeance, are particularly amazing to hard draw.
But we always want access to the Diabellstar Vengeance engine.
Cards, and I think like that is sort of like the golden ratio this deck is going for, at least for game 1. I wouldn't consider anything but the 1 SLR even debatably cuttable. Then for the non-engine, 1 Call By. This card beats Droll, and is in
we have to play Call By.
Okay, into the format right now. It stops Mirakumo, it stops Herald, it stops my mana. That is usually not enough to break a board with engine. though this deck's engine is so strong that even called by as like your only non-engine, you should still be able to push through most parts. 2 burial goods, as I stated, the third field spell could be the third copy. This card is very good in this deck because it access to blackouts, out to want to draw in some nations since it's a hallowed, and most often it sends Curse of Diabel, which gets you Philia Diabel, which is a really good board breaker. 3 blackout, this card is not insane to the format, but it's insane in this deck. Because you literally get it for free. It's your broken thrust target in any matchup going first, and it's immediate interaction. You can always just discard off of LZ or off of White Witch as your first play going into the board, and you can check an interruption that isn't even on field yet. It's so versatile and so strong. Now, before you roast me, just hear me out. 2 thrust, 2 dark ruler, 1 evenly. I know this looks weird, but you have to take the rest of the non-engine and the space into context. The 1 talents is here. I would play more if I could, but it's at 1. And then the 3 wallows. I just think this card is phenomenal right now. It's phenomenal.
Okay, but why the 2 rulers unevenly?
Unless the format goes super low ceiling or super main deck focused. So to explain these,
okay. Oh yeah. Is she a White Forest old timer or fairly new? She just picked up the deck. She just learned the deck for this YCS. So I hope she sticks with it. She was very good with it.
Some of the sighting patterns.
But she is also well known for playing. She played Sky Strikers at Worlds and got 2nd place with Sky Strikers. After the
I found that you could play 6 non-engine that doesn't do anything going first in the main deck, and that was fine. Though I never wanted to do more. It was 6 or less. And with the 3 Fuba already locked in, there were 3 spots left. So Dark Ruler is for Mitsu and Yummy decks, mainly Mitsu Yummy, but also pure Yummy's broken. Just because Mitsu Yummy is the matchup I find the hardest to break without strong specialized non-engine. The evenly is for Draco Tail, and I wanted the 1 for Thrust. Therefore, 2 and 1. And then the 2 Thrust is here because there is no more space. With disregarding the 2 Thrust, there are 38 cards in the deck.
Okay, so her reasoning, if I understand this correctly, is when you're putting this deck together and you're getting 40 or as close to 40 as humanly possible, after all of your engine and all of your starters, or after all of your engine and like mandatory non-engine, which GOAT basically is a mandatory non-engine at this point, thrust, talents, foolish, and called by also mandatory non-engine. She is saying that you only have 6 slots in your deck for hand traps or interruption. 3 of those being taken by Mulcharmic Fuwalos. So if we put 3 Ash in there, Ash doesn't really do enough to break boards compared to Dark Ruler no more and evenly. So we are just going off of, like, if we are going second. Did you not fix the Nightbot? I did. Oh, it didn't update on the Twitch one. I am sorry. I thought it did. What the fuck? The YouTube one fixed, right? Why did the Twitch one not save? Man's... It says it's updated on this one. What? I don't know why it's formatted that way. Because it's formatted differently on Nightbot. Anyways, I'll figure it out later. I can figure it out later. Okay. So that is the explanation for why no Ash in the main. Is because just Ash is a weak card into, like, Yummy just plays through Ash. Yummy doesn't care about Ash. Ash is only really good against Draco Tail. Maybe what if if I do this? We're gonna try that. This should work now. Exclamation mark throne. There we go. If we were, I don't know, because we don't even have room then for yeah, on my end it's showing. Okay, let's say on my end it's showing that it works. Oh, what if I disappear real fast? 1 second. Boop. Haha! I dodged the jail. Let's go. I think it didn't refresh. Yeah, for some reason it's not showing on night. It's not doing it on Nightbot. I don't know why. Or it's showing in the actual Twitch chat. It's just not showing up on chat, like on stream. But if you look at the actual Twitch chat, it works. Like you can click it in the actual chat. All right. Anyways, distracted.
And I think every other card than the thrusts, apart from arguably the third field spell on the Estella.
And because if you're running these 3 board breakers, then thrust is really good because like multiple thrusts just adds you those 3 board breakers, obviously. That is why that's here. Like if you were to cut these out. Hello, Dark Flame, give me a enjoy the lurk. If you cut these 3, if you cut the Dark Ruler, double Dark Ruler and the Evenly, I would go down on thrust as well. Like maybe just run a 1 thrust that gives you 4 cards to work with. If you want to do like triple Ash and an Imperm, or triple Ash and Droll, a triple Ash and a Nib,
specialized and more
draw
important
into.
role than the third thrust.
Really, you want some, or you could even do triple Molcharmy, Perulia,
moving on to the extra deck,
and a Nib.
I played
Like you just want something to draw into.
1 Sylvia, 1 Diabella Queen, 1 Poplar. These are all 4 of the wet synchros that are in the game, and you need all of them, but you don't need multiples because they're infinitely recyclable.
Is Booby Trap a good card for an Xyz deck? I've never heard of Booby Trap in my life, so I'm gonna say no. Like,
it's very helpful. It helps crack. It's also very good at cracking boards since it pushes one of their monsters back and then pops another in the battle phase. Just a very strong utility card overall. Then 1 Chaos Angel. This card's absolutely.
Now this is all the standard synchros.
Should be banned. I don't know why people aren't petitioning for this card to be banned, but please don't. It lets me win games with it.
I hardly ever make Chaos Angel though. I need to make Chaos Angel more.
YCS, but it's one of the deck's best tools by far. And then 1 Arclight. This is your nib check when you're started with the field spell, and it's also a very useful going first floodgate against Draco 2. That's it for the synchros. Nesmine fusions. I played Marcelago and Ilia Sylvia as like the obvious ones. You need to play both of these. They're really good. Then I played Saint Asamina and Moa Regina. I don't understand why people are ever debating cutting Moa Regina. This card is so good. I use it in my lines going first. I use it to break boards going second. This card does so much. It also lets you use awkward hands that open.
Why Diabells protects your cards from most forms of removal. Why is Nightbot going fucking crazy? Yeah, why not? I think it's just not updating for some reason.
Only simple spoil cards to make Chaos Angel because he goes search Asamina Alzat, fuse up it in Vengeance, and then this brings Asamina Alzat back, and then you make Chaos Angel in defense. And a lot of decks will struggle outing that next to a small board. And I played 1 Asamina. I think this card is. It's not amazing, like you can play other things, but I really like it because firstly, my Lunalight PTC from Worlds is just gone. This deck removes both Ligers really easily. You just summon Saint and then summon this and then run over the other Liger, and they can't kill it because you can't restore their card effects. Or because you have White Witch, but never mind that.
Oh, I found out why it didn't update. There we go.
Surprise with decays very easy, and it makes it so that you have like all 3 of your engines can be the finisher engine.
Finally got it to work.
Without this, it was usually the White Force cards with
Okay.
This.
Oh, they're talking about Asamina.
Like,
hold on.
This card makes or because you have White Witch, but you know, like you can play other things. But I really like it because, firstly, my Lunalight PTC from Worlds is just gone. This deck removes both Ligers really easily. You just summon Saint and then summon this and then run over the other Liger, and you can't kill it because you can't restore the card effects, or because you have White Witch, but never mind that. But I also found this card makes Surprise with Decays very easy, and it makes it so that you have, like, all three of your engines can be the finisher engine. Because I found that without this, it was usually the White Force cards with Sylvia Piercing, or the Vengeance, like the Vengeance engine, again with Sylvia Piercing, that I was using to end the game. And while Saint Desamina itself technically has the Nightmare Penguin condition, it's just much easier to tribute one of those things for something with 4,000 attack next to a Mo Regina that already has 3,000 attack.
Okay, so basically for the same reasons I thought, just like it's a beater,
this card is
lets you be able to finish with your Azamina engine, and then also outs like
the White Force engine. And
also outs the towers. If you summon Big Boss Azamina, you'll get a lot of surprise Pikachu faces. That's also true.
One Lina, one SP. SP's SP and kind of self-explanatory. The idea with Lina is that sometimes you can crash it to get Elzats, or Azamina Elzat, and also you can use it to steal Heralds. I never made it.
Never made it. Okay, cool. Alright. Sick.
So I guess I should play it, but to me this is the most cuttable card in the extra deck.
Yeah, no, you don't need to run Lina. You can honestly get away with that can be Solaris Stygian, that can be Pep if you want it, it could be Duration if you want it.
For the Fuwa and the Highbreakers. Ash for Charmies, but it also doubles down as a going second card against Draco Tail. The third thrusts, Scourge the White Force and Anti-Spell Fragrance. This could be Judgment, though I just found that Anti-Spell is generally more
No, Anti-Spell is so good in this format, going hard first.
And then one DDG.
Especially if we open Foolish.
This is the only thrust skip your turn floodgate I could think of. Technically there is the oh god, what's the name of it? The trap that reduces all your opponent's monsters in hand by 1 level. Gnomes something. Which is technically good against Mitsurugi, though against most Mitsurugi versions they're playing Yummy, and against that I would rather just set Black Coat to call Snatchy. Then for the rest of the side deck, the third Dark Ruler for Yummy decks, the 2 other Evenlies for Draco Tail, and then one of my main reasons for playing this deck actually is 5 Charmies. This should arguably be in the opposite ratio, seeing as Pirellia is still fine against
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Meowls, but I do like 3 Pirellia on the side.
The same engine, whereas Pirellia catches their hand interruptions better, in my opinion. And though it was fine, I did not sign for going second much in those matchups, so I don't think I used them at all. But the idea is just that if they give you 2 or 3 draws to make a strong half board, you will just always break it, because you play Power Breakers and your engine is just strong at breaking the boards. That's the list. Let me know if there's anything you would like to see explained. I have had a lot of people walk up to me asking for the list, asking for White Force ideas. So the idea.
I wonder if she's available for an interview. I wonder if we can set that up. Chat be cool. Chat be cool. Talk about how cool your Oshi is and how like amazing questions he has.
And you for traveling.
Wonder if she takes interviews.
You guys are awesome.
Dude, just comment and ask.
Yeah, I should. That I unfortunately don't have with me. I had to give them back. That's what the empty sleeves are. If anyone was wondering.
We could have a special guest stream.
Shout out to
there's a lot of stuff
teaching me this deck, being my 20.
So I like the list a lot. Is this one? I like the list a lot. Like I said, I think this is just a meta call list with the Dark Ruler Namors and the Evenlies. Because we're loading up on so much engine, we have to have power stuff. We don't have like the slots to put in like Imperm or Drolls or Nibirs and stuff, and those cards also like break our hands more. So I could also see just like putting in Perulias over those 3 cards. Because the thing is with White Force, like I said, if you are drawing like 3 or 4 cards, 2, 3 cards, drawing into just engine, you're breaking their board no matter what. Like you're able to play through the amount of negates that they have. Obviously, depending on your draws, because if you draw like 3 Sylvies, like all your normal summons, then that sucks. But yeah. I don't know. I definitely think you could at least like go down to one foolish, one even. I mean, it's hard to make adjustments to this list. I definitely take out the Lina, obviously. I don't think we ever make Lina in this deck for like another form of removal. You could do Solar. I'm really high into Solar Stygian, especially if we put Deaders into the list somewhere. Solar Stygian lets us make Chaos go 2-card Chaos Angel. Yeah, I don't know. Check DM. I do not. I will look at the stuff in a minute. So we're working on stuff, bud. Booby trap. Discard 1 card, set 1 continuous trap card from your hand or graveyard to the field. That set card can be activated this turn. What are you setting with this? What continuous trap are you setting? But I'm trying to think if there's like any other. I'm probably gonna have to like bite the bullet and like try just the board breakers on it. I'm not a fan of board breakers. I don't like board breakers. I think board breakers are kind of bad, and or not interacting during your opponent's turn is kind of bad. But almost all floodgates banned is it's not worth, yeah. Oh yeah, he's doing it. You're doing it with an anime deck, yeah. I mean, I have no idea how to build anime decks for Arc V, unfortunately. I am not much help there. Okay. I have a problem with going half first and half second. I mean, that's the thing with White Force, though, is like if you're going first and you have Dark Ruler and stuff in your hand, you just send it for cost. But I mean, these could also just be droplets and stuff, especially if you see a lot more branded, like at your locals and things like that. Then it's very good. But if you were playing droplets, like say we take out the Dark Rulers and the Evenlies and we put in droplets, then I would also go down on Thrust and go down on Foolish, maybe. Which gives you 2 more card slots. Because Thrust is really here. Like if we're going second, and we need a board break, if they like negate their first negate or whatever, we just get Dark Ruler and now we Dark Ruler them for Imperm. A lot of people are playing Imperm now. I think you either play 3 Black Goat Laughs or a hybrid number of Goat and Imperm, like 1 Imperm, 2 Goat, or 2 Imperm, 1 Goat. Like this list here. This list is a little bit all over the place, but like I see the vision. Like this is something I would build. This did top a regional. It was a 80 per okay, it was an 80 person regional in Australia. Strong asterisk there. 80 person regional in Australia. But Imperm is starting to see a lot more play. Imperm's starting to be good. I don't think you main Nibiru. I don't think you main multiple LZs, and I don't think you main Rusias. That could already get you down to 30 or 40 cards if you wanted to play a clean 40. I personally don't think crossout is bad, and which would mean cutting the Droll and the crossout for main deck. But like if we wanted to play more hand traps, we would put the Drolls in and keep the cross out. We'd play like 2 Drolls, 1 Nib. But like cutting engine or cutting like starters like Witch and Wanted, is really bad. I would change it out on the ratios a little bit. Also, no anti-spell fragrance. Playing Morian in main deck over Betrayal Severa, like these two cards could just be swapped Morian. You don't even have to play. Dragon's Mind is whatever. Solemn's whatever. Both Psalms or whatever. I'm gonna try the No Rusia approach tomorrow. I highly recommend playing No Rusia. Like, or try No Rusia. It feels wonky at first. It feels like you need her at first. But if you play enough games, especially if you're playing this deck in Master Duel, if you play enough games, there are tons of different lines to get to a second Sylvie if you need a second Sylvie, or just skipping the process in general and going like Diabell Star Vengeance, pop, summon a Resilia, and then using another level 2 to go into full White Force combo after that. So it's not absolutely necessary, and she sometimes bricks your hands, which is a little bit rough. Now, if you were playing toys, then you absolutely play the Rusia, because then she's searchable. Toy Soldier searches her, and you have enough spells and traps to send. Like say you go normal summon to Stellar, send Toy Soldier adds Rusia, and now you get full combo regardless. So you can't tell me Yu-Gi-Oh players don't hate Yu-Gi-Oh themselves. No anti-spell. What's your reaction? Listen, I also want dimensional barrier back. Like, as less thinking I have to do, the better. The less thinking I have to do in a matchup, the better. If I can just flip over anti-spell fragrance and be like, all right, figure out how to out this, then it works against, like, Yummy Mitsurugi deserves it. Draco Tail Brandon deserves it. They deserve to have their stuff negated. Personally, like Aphis, thoughts on Azamina of Aphis. You are more than welcome to play Azamina Aphis, but it is a win more card. The problem with Azamina Aphis is if you are getting to Azamina Aphis and you're getting enough synchros to bounce like 2-3 cards from them, then you're winning the game already. You've already won the game. It is the definition of a win more card. Like it had its time when, now if you're playing if we're talking Master Duel and you're playing Fiendsmith White Forest in Master Duel, then yeah, play Aphis, because you get to a ton of more fiends you're getting to a ton more fiends fusions in your graveyard to proc it more easily. Combo slop idiots play floodgates and complain about floodgates. True, so true. This deck build was interesting. Would love to hear your thoughts. This one we're on right now, this would be something I would take closer to like a regionals or a locals. This is if you are trying to hit all decks or like have a general can bounce like 5 cards. Yeah, but if you're bouncing 5 cards, you're already winning the game. Like, you've already won the game at that point. And you have to go full combo for it to work. And if you're going full combo with White Forest, you've won. Like, if I go full combo with White Forest, I am making 5-6 negates plus pops. And like different forms of layered interaction. This is the kind of list you would take to locals. If you were looking to like win locals or like have a good competing, like a good widespread margin against like all kinds of decks, like even at a regionals, then this would be the kind of list you would take. I personally wouldn't play Crossout. I don't think Crossout's very good. I also would like try and get this again close to 43, 41 as humanly possible. I don't think Crossout's very good. You definitely don't need 2 Elza Azaminas. You don't need Rusia. So there's 3 cuts that you could have. I think we side Droll. And if we're playing like a hand trap version, I think we side troll and put in like Perulia and 1 nib to draw into. White Forest is like the new devil deck with a bunch of negates now. It depends on how you build it, obviously. I personally don't like droplets, but droplets is going to probably be needed going forward, especially if you see a lot of branded. You're gonna need droplets in your main, so I can't really complain about that. I definitely think you should be playing 3 Wanted, 3 Witch. Morian should be absolutely Silvera because you end on Silvera to protect your board. So if I was, is there a way to like build this in download YTK deck builder? Okay. So if I was to like refix this deck, this cut, Thrust can even go in the side. This for sideboards all over the place as well. All right, filter. All right, I would do. I would play multiple goats. You'd never want to play less than 2 goats, obviously. White Forest. 1 more witch. Wanted. 42. Joels can go on the side if we're like playing. I put the 3 Joels in the side. Do something kind of like this. Oh, like I said, the biggest struggle right now with White Forest is the non-engine. Is because putting in all of these cards that you need down here means 3 witch or just 1. No, it's 3 witch, maybe nib out. Well, the thing is, you want something to board break with. You want, and this is where Rosalie's deck comes in. Is if we're going second, we have Fuelos, and we either pray that they make a half board, or we just draw into enough engine that we just out their board regardless. So we want something to out their board, which nib is our like 1 card to out their board. Otherwise, you would play like a board breaker like Dark Ruler or Evenly or something like that. Or you would just like go in on like Perulias as well in the main deck. This is all bad. These hand traps are all bad. But like if you're seeing a lot of branded, you also kind of need droplets because you need a way to answer the branded Albion field lock with fucking Edo or whatever the hell it is, the puppet lock. Then take out Ash for 3 nib and max droplet. Yeah, I could see you like you could put Ash in the side. Like you could cut all 3 Ash, put a 2nd nib. I wouldn't max out on nibs. I would do, if we wanted to go that route. Oh, where'd my 3rd Ash go? If we wanted to go that route, it would do something like this. Droplets also and then you could also put 2 Drolls in here instead if you wanted to main deck Drolls. But then yeah, I would just put both Molcharmies in the main deck. Like it depends on the meta you're expecting to see. Like the Porulias could be two droll, or it could be two drolls if you're playing like a lot of searcher decks, or it could be whatchamacallit? Sorry, my brain is frying, chat. I apologize if I'm umming a lot. Oh yeah, we also need Deaders in here. I am a big Deaders fan. Oh, there we go. So like 42 if we were playing interaction. But yeah, Purlia could either be two drolls if you're playing a lot of searcher decks, or if you're like trying to hedge against a certain amount of decks. Like Purlia, resolving a Purlia or a Fuelos gives you at least 2 or 3 draws, and having 8 cards in hand, or 7 cards or 8 cards in hand when you're going first or going second, means you're probably going to break their board regardless. So this would be something I could see. Purlia out for clean of 40. But do you have enough interaction though? That's the problem. If you cut Purlia, do you have enough ways to, like, you have, like, if we're cutting all the hand traps out and just doing Fuelos, then we just go to Rosalie's build with the Dark Ruler and the Evenly. I think if you're playing, if we change it to 2 Imperm, 1 Goat. No, Goat's better. Goat is better than Imperm right now. Like, you have to have some way of board breaking them going second. Game 1. So many decks dodge Imperm now that it's crazy. But yeah, I would like to start with, I would settle on something like this. Put the extra thrust in the side, put board breakers in the side. Anti-spell fragrance, obviously. Scourge, obviously. Thrust. Dimensional ground. Oh, what is the dimension card? Different dimension ground. What do you think of the new Shadal support? I love the new Shadal support. I can't wait to play Shadals. We are absolutely going to play Shadals when the new support comes out. Got a long while till then, though. Got a long while till then. Board breakers. Whatchamacallit? Raigeki is just like good. Raigeki and Harp Duster. So something like this. You're still playing 42. 42 is not a bad number. We still have access. If we're going second, we bring in the thrusts over the droplet. I don't know. Bring in thrusts over stuff that's like useless, like Purlias. If they're not summoning from hand so much, bring in Purlias. Sub out Estellars, sub out field spells. Darkhold for branded locks. I mean, we're main decking droplets for branded locks, so you just send the branded monster, the monster they're summoning. Like the whole reason we are playing droplet is if you're expecting to see branded, you're going to be playing droplet in main deck. You could even cut this down to just 2 droplet and hope we draw into droplets off of droplet or imperm. But yeah, if you're looking for something to play at like a locals or bring to a locals, I would start with something around like this. All right. Oh, my eyes hurt now too. Uh-oh, that's not good. Okay. Any other, did we cover everything? Did we get to everything? Hate Nib and Perulia. Why do you hate? Oh no, it looks ugly as fuck. It doesn't look pretty. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, hold on. Maybe if we do this, maybe if we go, hold on. We got to order it the White Forest way. We got to go like LZs, triple Sylvies, one Stellar, one Diabell Star, Diabells. All right. There we go. That look better. That look cleaner. Hold on. Let me. It's all about the ordering. All right. How about that? Oh, a seller between Sylvie and LZ. No. Stellar's the one of the Stellar goes at the end. But yeah, no, this should look a lot cleaner. This should look a lot better. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not terrible. But like I said, White Forest, the weirdest thing about White Forest is like the engine is pretty much set. Like triple LZ, triple Sylvie, one Stellar until we're out of a droll format, and one Elza Azamina, and then one of each of the other names. Triple Moltormi Fobolos, 3 field spell, one of each of the White Forest spells, 3 wanted. Like all of the engine is all the same. Like you should not be deviating. It's where the non-engine comes in. Like how many foolishes are you gonna run? How many black goats are you gonna run? How many thrusts are you gonna run main deck? That you only have like 6. Like you have like 6 non-engine spots that aren't taken. And we are over, like we are at 42 cards. Like we're not at a clean 40. So Master Jewel disagrees. Master Jewel is wrong. Okay. All right, Catters. Yeah, we only have one wanted in Master Duel anyways. So I'm going to put it in Perulia. Oh, don't put it in Master Duel. No, there's not enough deck. I don't think enough people are playing Ryzeal right now to put in Perulias. If you're playing Master Duel, then the Perulias are Drolls or Maxis. Like you should be playing 3 Fuwa, 2 Maxis, 2 Drolls, and then the 3 Ash. I would change this a lot if I wasn't playing Master Duel, or if I was playing Master Duel. Okay. All right. I'm EP chat. I'm tired. My eyes are starting to hurt. It's not good. My sleep schedule is cooked, as they say. See, where's my window capture? There's my window capture. All right. So let me start some music up a little bit. Some nice little relaxing music. Real fast before we end for today. A nice little 4 almost 5 hour stream. We'll play some more Master Duel, obviously, throughout the week, especially now that we have the new White Force support. Have a lot more fun with that. Oh gosh, I'm tired. I'm so tired. I will put out a schedule Oh, apparently I was in Master this entire time. I'll put out a schedule later today or later tonight for how the rest of the week is going to look. I'll try my best to schedule some amount of viewer duels this weekend, but I also do need to go play locals and things like that as well. But that being said, real fast, let me go through everyone because a lot of followers today. I unfortunately still don't have a list of subscriptions because YouTube hates me. But that being said, thank you to Your Friendly Dude Guy, Dracon Shade, Princess Schmalukal, Lude the Catboy for the follows. Welcome in. And of course, thank you to Sir for resubscribing for 17 months at tier 1 for a grand total of 26 months. Welcome back, Catters. All right. That being said, guys, gals, MBs, YouTube Catters, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Monday afternoon, Monday evening, Monday night, Tuesday meowing. And I will see y'all maybe not tomorrow for stream. I'll put out a schedule in the Discord and I'll put out a schedule on YouTube. We will find out. It'll either be tomorrow or Wednesday for next stream. So as always, good night.